Hey, good afternoon, everybody. From the StormTrack 5 Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks with Meteorologist Kit Alexander. We are tracking strong and severe storms now moving across northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia, into eastern portions of Kentucky, I should say. And we do have some urgent breaking news right now, Kit, with a tornado warning that has been issued, not technically in our viewing area, but it is certainly worth mentioning that we have a tornado warning for the northeast part of Tazewell County. And that warning is right here and will remain in effect until 3:45 this afternoon. So we've got definitely some potential. It's a radar indicated tornado, not a confirmed, but certainly there is concern with rotation, Kit, and the possibility that this cell may drop a tornado in the northeastern parts of Tazewell County.
We do have viewers in Tazewell County that follow our Facebook page, maybe our YouTube page as well. So if you are in Tazewell County, yes, we do have a tornado warning. And you can see it's a strong cell that's just to the south and the east, just made it to the south and east of Tazewell. So the Weather Service seeing enough rotation with this, a tight enough couplet, that they're comfortable with going with a tornado warning with this. We've had some rotation with this cell. We actually had been monitoring that really over the past hour, and it was kind of broad, but
we'll go ahead and put it on the right there. You can see it's pretty discernible and identifiable there, that rotation right now here just to the east of Tazewell. It looks like just near Highway 61 in the northeast part of Tazewell County.
Yeah, certainly looking at a tight couplet. So I know we mentioned this earlier. Anytime you have the green really right next to the red here, the green are winds that are going towards radar, the red going away from the radar. You get the two converging right here. That's what we would term in meteorological terms is gate-to-gate shear. So when you get strong numbers showing up here, a strong correlation between the two, we could be looking at, this is the tornado couplet, this is where the tornado would be right here in this general vicinity. So if all this wind, if it mixed down to the surface, we'd be looking at 63, kind of a weak tornado, but it would still be and treated as such because it is tornado warned. This is a strong enough couplet that they are, like I said, issued the tornado warning on that cell.
And it so we'll track it using the location of that the tornadic signature, not necessarily the leading edge of it, but I'll kind of move back a little bit so we can do a complete track of it moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to start it right here where that couplet is showing up to the east of Tazewell and moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour. So that would take it in that general path in impacting these communities.
Yeah, so some of the communities that would be impacted, Burke's Garden, obviously. So we're right close to 330. That is very close to Burke's Garden. A couple other spots, though, that we kind of noticed there. Sheridan Springs around 341. Independence, assuming this holds together, which is not showing any signs that it's going to weaken, but anyway, assuming this holds together, around Independence, around 348. Around the Bland Health Clinic or so, 356. A couple other places listed as well. Withville, one of the ones, 412, assuming it holds the same steam and speed.
And we'd want to urge anybody that's in the path of that dangerous storm to make sure that you are taking shelter immediately with the communities listed there, the approximate times that this tornadic signature or that tornadic storm would move close to your community. Make sure you're getting into a safe structure in your home, the lowest level, away from windows, perhaps a closet or a bathroom, away from windows. Maybe make yourself kind of in these walls between you and the outside of your home is kind of what we like to say. The basement, if you have a basement, that is preferable. I know a lot of homes don't have basements, but if you can find a place to kind of seek shelter, maybe put a pillow or something, even a helmet, a bicycle helmet or something like that, just to keep you safe from any flying debris. But certainly it is important that those folks that are in that tornado warning. It does also include parts of Bland County, western Bland County, as well as the northwest parts of Wythe County as well. It does not include Smith County, that tornado warning. That would be staying to the east of Smith County, but nonetheless, that dangerous storm is pushing to the southeast with a possible tornado at about 25 miles per hour. So that is one of many storms that we are keeping an eye on currently. Let's pull back, Kit, and talk about other storms that are being well, some are being warned for, others are not, but the cell that is in Hancock County now, and it does have a warning extending into Hawkins County. That warning also in effect until 3:45 this afternoon. That cell is potentially bringing up to a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust as well. Possible penny-sized hail. Doesn't look like large hail, but certainly as it pushes off to the east at about 25 miles per hour, there could be some strong gusty winds that could cause at least some local wind gust damage as it moves. It looks like mainly south of Sneedville. It's now near Mooresburg, heading into well, it's in Hawkins County now, the lower end of that storm currently.
Yeah, falls into the severe weather criteria, which is about 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's what they've issued with this warning. So, yeah, just to the south of Sneedville, like you mentioned, Dave, it's eventually going to be moving into Hawkins County. It's knocking right out the door there of Hawkins County.
Actually, yeah, the lower part of that storm is already in the southwest part of Hawkins County and moving east-southeast at about also about 25 miles per hour. So that would take it in the direction of Cloud Creek and Klondike, Clinch School, Hawkins County Hospital, Rogersville between now and 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and Bayleton as well, around 4:20 or so. So another thought that I had with that, you know, we talked about where's the safest place to be in a storm, and I've had, you know, people asking me this quite a bit. Obviously, the centermost room of your home or basement is the preferred place. If you have a basement, you know, that's really the best place. If you're in a mobile home, I was just going to add that, unfortunately, it's never recommended to wait out a tornado warning storm like this one back up to the north, not that one in Hawkins County, but like this one back up here, never recommend to wait it out into a mobile home.
If there's just one thing, yeah, excellent advice there. Definitely don't want to do that. You know, think ahead how you could stay safe if you live in one of these structures that may not offer the kind of safety that you would need. Maybe think ahead right now what you would do if we get a tornado warning for your location here during the course of the afternoon. But right now, the only storm that has the tornado warning is technically not in the viewing area, but just outside the east-northeast tip of Tazewell County, and also for Bland and Wythe County. But some of these other storms are not being warned from. The one in Hancock and Hawkins County appears maybe just a little bit lower in intensity than it was a little while ago. But these here in Southwest Virginia are definitely flaring up. We've got severe thunderstorm warned storms also in southeast Kentucky. These bump up into areas of Letcher County now under a severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of Whitesburg, as well as north of Leslie County, and also Pike County. A severe thunderstorm warning now in effect as well. But these storms that don't have warnings for them, Kit, certainly do look interesting for sure.
A couple little things that I wanted to point out with some of these. So you saw some of them earlier weakening, and you may be asking, why is that? There's a couple main reasons, in my opinion, why that's happening. This one, though, that's intensifying back towards Dickinson County, moving into Russell County. So the storm needs a lot of inflow. You have to think about it. All this wind, like ahead of it, is pulling in the warm, moist air on the south side of these storms, folks. When you get to the other side, sometimes it starts to get that rain-cooled air. It would actually weaken the storm completely out. You see some of these that have died off. A couple things happening, terrain, but the other thing is, you know, you lose that inflow. I think what's happening with some of these, in my opinion, you're getting some strong inflow into these. That's what's kind of helping to instigate these even further, becoming a little bit stronger.
So I'm going to put on what we call the VIL, the vertical integrated liquid here, and this just kind of shows you where the updrafts are the strongest and where the hail potential, and also you can see the intensity of the storms are the highest. And it looks like we're seeing pretty good little flare-up of the cell here, just right along the Dickinson and Russell County line, north of Cleveland, rural areas of northern Russell County. Pretty intense storm. I'm going to put on the storm relative velocity just to see if there is any kind of discernible rotation within the storm. And right now it does not look particularly impressive in that regard, which is good news, but that doesn't mean something couldn't just all of a sudden become more favorable for a little rotation to develop. But right now, an intense storm, but doesn't look like we would have a tornado with it.
Correct, yeah. When we get these scans, like every 5 minutes, we're going to have an updated scan. We'll look at it, and sometimes when you layer the scans just back to back, you can start to see a picture. It starts to paint a picture of how the storm intensifies. And what we have noticed with a couple of these cells, at least they're not severe warned, that's good news, but the ones that have popped up here near Lebanon and so forth, or to the north of Lebanon, those are the ones that are actually gaining
so
a
there's
little
that
bit
storm.
more steam.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's probably the most intense storm it looks like right now in our viewing area. And do want to let our viewers know in Gate City, Churchill, Mount Carmel, Kingsport, that several of these little clusters of thunderstorms are pushing into the metro right now from the northwest.
Yeah, and so these are the ones, as you folks know, these are the ones we're going to have to keep an eye on. These are progressing slowly here, what, east-southeast 25?
About 25 miles per hour, yeah.
So that gives us kind of a general time frame. So if you live in one of these communities just to the southeast of Gate City, go ahead and think now, okay, well, this storm is at least showing some intensity. It's not strong. It's technically not severe yet, but some of these little pulse thunderstorms, you live downstream, so to speak, from some of these storms, just know that some of these could flare up a little bit stronger, have a way to receive warnings. I know we preach it all the time, but really that's really the best idea, is just have a way to receive warnings. You'll get it right to your phone or your email, so forth. Just a good way to be reminded.
And so with the storm now in southern Hancock County into the far western part of Hawkins County, that storm is being warned for. You can see some frequent lightning strikes, especially on the northwest part of the storm itself along the Hawkins and Hancock County line. So definitely possibility of some strong, maybe gusts of wind to near 60 miles per hour with that cell continuing as it slides to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. We'll do a quick little track on that. We'll give an update on where this is headed as we go through the next hour or so. It would be pushing it into the northern parts of Greene County as well by the end of that track there around 4:30 or so.
Yeah, assuming it holds the same strength. Some of them have been, some of them not so much, but keep an eye on this. This is some of the towns that would be impacted by that storm that's near Hawkins County. So St. Clair, the elementary school around 350. Hawkins County, the hospital there, 357. Rogersville, 358. These are general good estimates based on the speed and the direction of the storm. Rogersville around 358. Amos, it looks like around 406. Assuming it holds together, it will eventually get to Bayleton. If you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube from the Bayleton area, roughly around 422 or so.
All right, so with that said, we'll just go ahead and take a quick scan around to see what has developed here in the last few minutes. In northeast Tennessee, we're seeing little isolated showers in areas of Washington County near the Tennessee-North Carolina border as well. Pretty decent little storm has flared up in the southern parts of Cocke County to the south of Newport. Quite a bit of lightning with that extending back toward the Smokies south and east of Pigeon Forge. But as far as the other storms in southwestern Virginia, the one that's being warned for and has the most critical and urgent need for getting the information out is that storm that's now in the extreme eastern part of Tazewell County. That is, as we mentioned, the tornadic part of the storm not even getting close to Smith County, so that's good news, but it is moving into the western part of Bland County and is in the western part of Bland County, pushing into northwest Wythe County. That tornado warning extends up to just a little bit to the northwest of Wytheville. But right now, let's go ahead and put on the velocity here and show you that we still have some decent rotation indicated there as we looked at the latest scan in kind of near the Tazewell and Bland County line currently. Kit. Yeah,
and there's something that's always interesting with tornadic activity. Usually we're always looking for the main vortex. Here's your main couplet. This is really, with the warning that's been issued by the Weather Service, this is the one that we really have our eye on. However, I do just want to turn your attention to the east. Sometimes a lot of tornadoes are what they term as multiple vortex or multiple vortices going around them. So you have to at least keep an eye in the general area. Sometimes we'll be focused so hard on one particular location, you may miss that there actually could be some extra rotation happening ahead of the storm, especially off to its east, but certainly right in here. That's where we term it as the gate-to-gate shear number, the red away from radar, the green actually heading towards the radar.
So we do we got the incoming and outgoing winds away or toward the radar there, and you can see we have decent little couplet there still showing up, hence the tornado warning in effect until 3:45 for extreme extreme south, extreme east parts of Tazewell County, really, and into Bland County is where that tornadic signature is moving into right now.
So like we had mentioned earlier with this storm, like the majority of them is moving east, south, and east. So is this one still moving about 25 or so miles per hour?
Update we got from the National Weather Service out of Blacksburg was that it is moving at about 25 miles per hour. We'll just see if we got an update on it.
Sounds good. So there you have the general warning zone here showing up with Tazewell County heading into Wythe County. Here's the Wythe County line down this direction. You're getting some of the strength of that thunderstorm, especially just downstream. But of course, at the moment, the tornadic signature technically still in Tazewell, but it's progressing east, south, and east. So even though this doesn't include our area, we have obviously some Facebook viewers in the Tazewell County area. I'm sure we do in Wythe County as well. That is moving your direction if you're in the Wythe County area.
Yeah, so just the update, came out a few minutes ago from Blacksburg. National Weather Service says that a tornado, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, so like we said, it's radar indicated, not confirmed, was near Grattan or over Burke's Garden. This was about 5 to 10 minutes ago, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Could have some quarter-size hail with it and the possibility of a tornado moving from near the Tazewell and Bland County line southeast. So shortly the tornadic part of this storm will be exiting Tazewell County, not yet, but shortly, and pushing into and through Bland into northwest parts of Wythe County. So heads up in Wytheville, for example, and those areas along Interstate 77 and Interstate 81 in Wythe County. This storm is moving in your direction. Take shelter now and in a safe structure as these storms continue to push off to the southeast. So that storm, again, is not in our viewing area, but as you've mentioned, Kit, there are people who watch us in parts of Tazewell, especially near the Richlands area, but even back toward the eastern tip, we could still have some folks watching us in Bland County and northwest Wythe County. But still those cells are bearing watching in southwest Virginia and also in southeast Kentucky, a near solid line of severe storms currently moving in southeast Kentucky. And these are now on, just on the doorstep of Dickinson County, and also have pushed into Letcher County. Let's just do we have that warning here for Letcher County, at least the north parts of Letcher County. That severe thunderstorm warning includes northeastern Perry, Knott County, and also southwestern Floyd County, and also Letcher County, just north of Whitesburg, the flashing polygon there. That does include Letcher County, which is in our viewing area, Kit, until 4 p.m. Radar indicated storm, severe storm, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. So these storms may be pushing just a little bit faster than the other storms that we've been tracking, but could have up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Doesn't look like hail is a huge concern according to the summary here from the Weather Service, but certainly some small hail, but definitely the possibility of some strong damaging wind gusts.
Certainly enough, yeah, for it to meet the, like you mentioned, the warning criteria of 60-mile-per-hour winds. That would be my main concern with this. I mean, the other thought with it, with all this wind, in this zone here for Letcher County, back up towards eastern Kentucky, you're going to have a lot of rainfall for folks.
All right, so we just got this, Kit, the new updated warning. This does include, obviously, the viewing area. This includes parts of Lebanon, Russell County, and also Washington County, Virginia. What I would like to do now, since we're starting to get closer to the metros, let's go ahead and Randy or Holly, if we could maybe bring in News 5 WCYB, we'll go live into programming there, since this new warning does include Russell County and Washington County, Virginia. If you could just tell me in my ear when we're about ready to welcome our viewers from News 5, and we will give you the information on this new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for parts of Russell County and areas of eastern Washington County. That warning just came out for those two areas, and this is all right. All right, we want to welcome our WCYB viewers. We are joining our severe weather coverage in progress from YouTube, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook, WCYB Facebook live broadcast. We do want to let you know that we got some breaking weather news now impacting the Tri-Cities area of Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. This new severe thunderstorm warning is important because it has the tornado possible tag associated with it, Kit. This is Kit Alexander. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks in the StormTrack 5 Weather Center. I'm going to just kind of move the radar a little bit here, and we can examine this storm now that it's now moving into parts of Russell County as and heading toward Washington County as well, Kit. So that, let me just put up the particular information about this warning, and Kate, you talk about it, and I will look it over and see what we can talk about as far as what the Doppler radar indicates.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to go ahead and start with the criteria that you're looking at here. If you're in the Lebanon area, the strongest part of the storm right now, if you're watching us from Lebanon, you're seeing those taller cloud tops. The strongest part of the storm is in Russell County. It's progressing east, south, and east. So our concern here over the next few minutes is it'll be impacting central parts of Washington County, which includes the Meadowview area, Glade Spring. If you're watching us from there, it's progressing east, south, and east. You could be looking at some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts anywhere in this yellow zone. And importantly, like Dave had just mentioned, it has the tornado possible tag.
All right, so let me just read just to get you the latest information from the National Weather Service. The warning issued because a severe thunderstorm was located near Cleveland to near Lebanon in Russell County, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. This is a radar-indicated severe storm, which will have winds potentially up to 60 miles per hour, some penny-sized hail, and it does include that possible tornado. We were examining this before we broke in live on WCYB about these storms that are ahead of the main line in southeast Kentucky, perhaps taking on some sort of rotation. And we were saying these individual discrete cells ahead of the main line will have that possibility. And so we don't have a tornado warning kit, but nonetheless, that cell, it could possibly, the rotation could tighten up a little bit and perhaps produce a tornado. But right now, just a severe thunderstorm warning with a heads up that you should treat this very seriously. Take the necessary precautions to get into your safe place, away from windows, lowest level of your home, as this storm continues to push off to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, one of the most important things that we preach all the time, I know we talk about this a lot, just have a way to receive warnings, because like Dave just mentioned, these storms have really been pulsing up ahead of that main line rather quickly, going just through from scan to scan. We get those scans every 5 minutes that goes by, we get a fresh scan. You notice that this has been progressively getting more of that inflow, a lot of that warm, moist air ahead of it. It's really been feeding this storm, so it's really progressively got bigger. So that's something we're keeping an eye on.
So let's see, I'm going to put the velocity on here, Kit, and see if we can see where that rotation is broad, not necessarily tight enough or significant enough to produce a tornado, but you can see where we're, why we're concerned about that possible tornado with that rotation broadly over the Cleveland area to the northwest of Lebanon.
Yeah, so the red obviously is the winds blowing away from radar. You get the green, the inbound winds, those are heading back towards radar. Our concern anytime that you get any kind of couplet kind of forming, thankfully this is broad at the moment, but you get that couplet between the two, that's your gate-to-gate shear number, the technical meteorological term, but just telling you that's where the strongest of that rotation is located.
And moving to the southeast, so it would be heads up in this general direction in Russell County to near Lebanon, to between near Lebanon to between Rosedale there in Russell County, where that seems to be where the rotation may be starting, or at least trying to develop, not tornadic necessarily, but we'll put on you can see here that's indicating where the possible hail is, and you can see probably could have up to maybe penny to quarter-size hail in those two little cell structures there near north of Lebanon, up to just near and to the west of Honaker in Russell County.
And I know we just mentioned it earlier, but the hail a lot of times is a sign that a storm is either strengthening or weakening, and that lightning associated with the hail, because you get the updrafts, downdrafts. You see the strongest part of the storm here holding its strength here in the reds. That's really kind of where the hail core is at, the heavy downpours, and anywhere in this zone here of the severe thunderstorm warning itself, even though it's just tagged to the tornado possible signature, anywhere in this 60 mile per hour, this zone here, you could be experiencing winds around 60 miles per hour in that severe thunderstorm warning, especially right here along where that storm is located.
So if we do a little storm track on the dangerous part of the storm right through here and advance it to the southeast at now 35 miles per hour, I'm going to try to get the line of the movement as close as I possibly can. It looks like it's somewhere in this area right here, Kid.
Yeah, some towns that would be impacted, assuming this holds its current strength, which is a pretty strong storm right now, I'll say. Rosedale around 350. It's already in that neighborhood, folks, as you know if you're watching us from there. Glade Spring, if it were to hold together, even Meadowview around 413, Saltville 409, Glade Spring, it looks like roughly at its current pace would be around 418 or so.
And so again, that storm has a severe thunderstorm warning with it. That warning will remain in effect. Let's clear here and let's see, give the time of the warning, time of the expiration, which will go through 4:45. So for about an hour, that severe thunderstorm warning, it does not include Smith County, but it may very well, if it holds together, have to include areas around Saltville and Chilhowie as well. But at this point, that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for areas of Russell County, from near Lebanon to Rosedale to Honecker currently, but that is pushing into Washington County near Brumley Gap along the county line, and then extending eventually, will eventually come into Washington County, which will impact areas of north and east parts of Washington County, Virginia. The severe part of that storm may, I say may, just stay to the northeast of Abingdon, but folks in Abingdon not in the warning, but just heads up that this storm is going to be close to you here as we go through the next hour. We do want to let you know that the warning for the storm in Hawkins County expired at 3:45. It looks like that storm is now below severe limits, but certainly at one point had the gust of wind to perhaps 60 miles per hour, but that storm has weakened. But we're, in addition to those storms now in Russell County and Washington, moving into Washington County, we've got pretty good little cluster of storms heading into Kingsport right now.
Yeah, and that's something I've been noticing. This is another area that started out as pulse-like thunderstorms that's really starting to strengthen here. You're starting to see some reds indicating perhaps the potential from some small hail, maybe heavy downpours, very likely with this. This is a complex of storms right here near Kingsport, Bloomingdale, and Gate City. Even though it's not severe warned, thankfully yet, but you may want to keep an eye on that. But like I said, have a way to receive warnings even in this zone, anywhere from Gate City for Scott County down into Bloomingdale around the Sullivan County line into the Bays Mountain, Kingsport.
Let's get. I'm going to take a look at the downtown Church Circle cam from Kingsport here, and you can see we've got definitely some rain moving in to this part of Kingsport, downtown area, Church Circle. And so, like you said, the storm has not been warned for, and at this point it looks like it may be below severe limits, but anytime you have lightning, that's dangerous. Whether you're talking severe storm or not, it will have some intense rainfall and some gusty winds potentially, but at this point that warning those storms are not being warned for right now in the Kingsport area, but certainly it's something that we'll be keeping a very close eye on as we go through the next 15 minutes, because that, or even longer than 15 minutes, but as that continues to move south and east, will be involving other parts of the metro area, Kit, as we go through the next 1 hour. Probably the next 1 to 2 hours as these storms continue to track across northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia.
Yeah, something else that I just wanted to mention, and by the way, for folks that's watching us perhaps from the Johnson City community or on down south and you're not seeing anything, thank you for your patience. Just keep in mind, when it comes to severe weather coverage, that's the main thing, keeping people safe. So if you're watching us from down here, it does not mean that we would not see that pulse thunderstorm activity eventually start to bring in the potential of a warning eventually into areas around Johnson City, Piney Flats, and some of these other communities. But in the meantime, yeah, the stronger thunder shower activity, Tri-Cities area-wise, around there, around Kingsport, and then the severe warning, obviously, at the moment, still back in Washington County into Russell County.
And so what I would call probably the main line of storms now is pushing south from Kentucky, and this will be entering and is entering western part of Dickinson County currently, and there are warnings for Pike County as well as northern Letcher County. Those warnings, I believe, are in effect until 4.
I believe it was, yeah, until around 4. We'll have to see. They may, since they're getting this far south, we'll have to keep an eye on this line, because then they would likely reissue, some other warnings.
Yeah, they just put one out for Leslie County too right now, so we'll zoom into that, or at least put that up there graphically here, and you can see that warning just issued within the past minute, and that warning is in effect for parts of Leslie County, also west central Letcher County, Perry County, and south central Breathitt County until 4:30. So those storms impacting Hyden. These storms are pushing to the southeast at 35 miles per hour, and will continue to move in through southeast Kentucky. We'll go ahead and let me put on here. We'll do a track of that, Kit, here and just see that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that storm over Scott and Sullivan County and Hawkins County be upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning either. But let's go ahead and do a track of this storm here that they just issued the severe thunderstorm warning for. And that is moving to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour as well.
So here's the look at some of those communities. If you're in and around the Hyden area, around 413, that's really not too many minutes away, about 20 minutes away or so. Looks like Daisy about 419, Whitesburg 427, Big Fork, if you're in the Big Fork community, around 434, Big Laurel 444, Cumberland. If assuming it holds together all the way, and it very well could. About
Let me put on a better track on that, because the Whitesburg part of that storm will come in before that time that we gave. Let's kind of maybe a little shorter segment to track, because it is extending back to the east and just north of Whitesburg. So this is just one portion of the storm that we're going to do a track on.
Yeah, and so this is poised to move into Southwest Virginia, very close here. But if you're watching from Kentucky, yeah, Hyden around 359. We mentioned that a minute ago. Banks 419, Big Laurel around 428, Cumberland 433, Lynch 437 at its current rate of speed, which I believe you said was around 35 miles per hour
to the southeast. Yes, indeed, it is moving pretty quickly now. They picked up a little bit of forward speed. As far as the storms in Russell County, that tornado warning, by the way, that was in effect for eastern parts of Tazewell County, has now remained a warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning now for the Wytheville area. But the storms of most concern now are the storms that are, let's make sure I'm not missing something down here, are the ones that are moving through parts of Kingsport currently, Scott County, eastern Hawkins, western Sullivan County, as well as the severe thunderstorm warned storm over Lebanon, Virginia, kind of just spilling over now into Washington County, Virginia.
Yeah, we've had a lot of warm, unstable conditions in these areas. I mean, that's really kind of helping to fuel these thunderstorms, plus add to the fact that we have a little bit more rotation available in the atmosphere too. That does give them their supercellular type appearance. But yeah, notice that we still have that severe thunderstorm warning. It's still tagged. It does not currently, that we know of, that it's not warned, but at the moment, it's still kind of showing some of those characteristics back towards Lebanon and moving east-southeast as well. It may just barely, like you mentioned earlier, Dave, may just kind of barely squeak by Abingdon, and they're mainly kind of staying towards us north and east.
We'll do a little quick track on that, and it is moving now from into Washington County, Virginia, but it is moving, pretty quickly at about 35 miles per hour. So in an hour, that would take it almost into southern Smith, and I'm going to make sure that looks about right there, toward Damascus at the end of that hour track.
Yeah, so if it keeps moving at its current rate of speed there, it is moving around. The strongest part of the storm is near Lebanon, back towards Brumley Gap, but we'll be moving to areas between Abingdon and Glade Springs. So like if you're in the Meadowview community, that warning, severe thunderstorm warning, does include the Glade Spring and Meadowview communities for winds potentially in spots up to 60 miles per hour. And there's, of course, some heavy downpours, obviously. So that's another thing. You have the winds. If you're having to drive in this, not recommended, obviously, but yeah, you'd be looking at the wind along with the heavy downpours. The rainfall rates, by the way, anywhere in these where the reds are kind of showing up, along with the potential of some hail, would not be surprised to see some rain rates 2.5, maybe even in excess of 3 inches per hour. Thankfully, these are moving a little quicker than what they were earlier, too.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the...
And that does include the Henderson area back towards northwestern parts of Washington County. So obviously you have a lot of mountains in here. Check out the rainfall rates. We just mentioned that. So anywhere in this zone here with the brighter colors, the pinks, the reds, from Rosedale to Lebanon, look at that. Yeah, we'll put a little bit of a number on there.
4.1 inches. If it rained an hour, which it probably won't, at that intensity for an hour, but if it were to rain an hour at that current rate, you would get about a little over 4 inches of rain in that short period of time. So there could be some localized flooding with these storms as they continue to push off to the southeast as well.
Yeah, and then the other main threat, as we already, have been talking about, is the damaging wind gust anywhere in that severe warned zone. So that's our main concern at the moment here. And we do have quite a few folks that are watching, and I know you watch from this eastern part of Washington County that is under that severe thunderstorm warning. So really, it's a good idea. Just go ahead and treat it as such, that, even though it's been tagged at times with a tornado possible, just treat it like, hey, we could get another warning on this at any point. Just keep in mind that storm is holding its strength pretty good here the past few minutes.
And that storm continues to move into and through the Kingsport area, Gate City of eastern Hawkins, western Sullivan, also into southern parts of Scott County. Again, these storms not necessarily being warned for, but they do have some intense rain and also some frequent cloud to ground lightning. In fact, looks like the storm maybe not quite as intense as far as the lightning is concerned here. Now it's popping back, and I was wondering what's happening. So yeah, we still got some pretty intense lightning in the Kingsport area, but maybe focusing in back on the western part of the storm segment in Scott County is where the most frequent lightning is currently.
Yeah, the lightning being a sign, too, when you get that kind of frequent lightning that the storm is likely strengthening. We've seen that over the past few minutes. So it's still technically, this one will be in the strong criteria, not severe, but just know that there could be some spots here within this cell that you may still be looking at, what, gusts up to 40? I believe they had the tag, I think, on that, and some hail, potentially up to, what, penny size or so?
It looks like that the near Okolona on the Hawkins and Scott County line, just to the west of Kingsport. Maybe some small hail. Probably not. It doesn't look like anything significant as hail concerned in the Kingsport area or Gate City. Maybe some small hail, but looks like there may be a little bit better chances some penny-sized hail, perhaps, just along the Virginia-Tennessee state line there near Okolona.
So that's obviously the zone where we're seeing the strongest part of the Sullivan County, Scott County storm at the moment. Seeing the heavier downpours, obviously in the reds, but also some hail, at least potential, like you just mentioned there with the hail tracker associated too with that lightning. Usually the two go hand in hand, and then you're getting the heavier downpours too. And like I said, maybe some winds up to 35, 40 at the moment. That's kind of what I would think with this kind of storm.
Yeah, it looks like, and I can maybe do a little track, even though this storm is not being warned for as far as severe weather. We can give a track here into the future. And this is kind of the leading edge of the stronger stuff. It's not, I mean, there are some showers in advance of where this is starting, but that looks about right there. So you can see how this is going to progress eastward in time here over the next hour into other parts of the Tri-Cities area.
Yeah, Tri-Cities is like the core of it around the airport around 406, Bluff City at 416, Piney Flats 421. Eventually in areas like Gray, if you watch this from the Gray area, around 424. So keep an eye on this storm. Hunter 438 and Elizabethton, another community, 446 roughly with this storm.
All right. And we're continuing to see how these storms progress through southeast Kentucky, now impacting areas of Leslie and Perry County as well as Letcher County. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings for those cells as well as they continue to push off to the southeast. So I guess until we get maybe some new warnings for the metro area, just remind you that we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for areas of Russell County and Washington County, Virginia till what time was that? It was till 4:45, I believe. We got the strong storms now in the Kingsport area. We'll see if those intensify and require warning. At this point, no. And we also have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Letcher and Leslie counties for another half hour, 45 minutes or so. But we will continue to cover these storms on our Facebook, WCYB Facebook and YouTube channel. But for now, we'll go ahead and let WCYB go back to regular programming, and we will interrupt again should we get some warnings for the metro that aren't currently in effect right now. But we'll let you go ahead and go back to regular programming. But you can join us on our WCYB Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. All right, so gang, we are back still. We're continuing to watch and track these scattered strong and even a couple of severe storms now across northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia. Meteorologist Dave Dirks and meteorologist Kit Alexander in the StormTrack 5 Weather Center. We've got two areas that are being warned for, but even in the Tri-Cities, a pretty intense storm now in the Kingsport area of Hawkins, Scott, and Sullivan County.
Yeah, and even though technically not severe warned yet, obviously we are keeping an eye on it because this is one, man, it started out as just a couple small pulse thunderstorms. This is really rapidly intensified over the past several minutes, wouldn't you say? Look at the res now showing up with some heavier downpours. So small hail being possible with this, although at the moment, I think there's still, yeah, anywhere in here, we do have the hail tracker on it. Notice in the red there, we could be looking at what, maybe penny, maybe dime penny sized or so there in the red, I would think.
And then in the Kingsport, Bloomingdale, Hilton's area, probably, small hail, if that. But we do, looks like, have an additional warning that just came into the north. So these storms in the Churchill, Mount Carmel, Kingsport, Colonial Heights, Bloomingdale, Gate City, Clinchport, Hilton's area are not being warned for, but definitely some intense rainfall, some dangerous cloud to ground lightning, and also some gusty winds, perhaps up to 40 or 50 miles per hour. But I do want to head north, Kit, because we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Wise County in southwest Virginia. That is for the storms that are moving through Letcher County in southeast Kentucky. These storms have a potential to bring some strong damaging wind gusts, as well as some hail, some dangerous lightning, and some intense rainfall. I will put the warning summary up here for you. That warning will remain in effect until 4:45. This does include areas of Norton and Wise at 4 o'clock, or a little after 4. Severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Clintwood to Hyden, all right, in Dickinson County, and then extending back west into southeast Kentucky, moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. Radar indicated wind gusts to 60 miles per hour and potentially penny-sized hail with those storms.
Yeah, damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Folks, you know exactly what kind of damage that can do. So this, at the moment, like you mentioned, Dave, still technically in Kentucky, but look how close it is here to the Wise County line. Thankfully, at the moment, as I'm looking at Dickinson County, not obviously in the warning, but that's good. I'm not seeing necessarily the warning criteria there, but just off to the south here, to the south and west, Wise County, back towards Norton, Appalachia was another place that was, listed up there that you could be looking at some winds potentially in spots up to about 60 miles per hour. Here's like the latest tracker. He's going to put this into motion where you can kind of get an idea. Moving to east and southeast at its current rate of speed, these are some of those towns that would be indicated here. Daisy around 410, Banks 417, Wise 424. Looks like around Norton at 431, and assuming it holds together, Lynch 437, and another spot here, Hyde Knob around 439 with some 60 mile per hour potential with this cell.
And the main threat, I think, Kit, is probably going to be some strong straight line wind gusts that could reach near 60 miles per hour as this storm settles from areas of Pike County and Letcher County, and also back as far to the west as Leslie County near Hyden. All these storms being warned for, but the new warning that does include Letcher, and looks like we're going to have a new warning also come out for the Kingsport area. So let's go ahead and break back into WCYB programming, and we'll talk about this new warning for the Metro Kingsport area. I believe, let me just make sure. But anyway, I wanted to not just cut off that Wise County storm, but that storm in Letcher and Pike County moving into Wise County. So folks in Wise County need to take shelter from this possible dangerous storm. All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. We are continuing to track strong to severe thunderstorms from the StormTrack 5 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks and Meteorologist Kit Alexander, and we have been doing live coverage throughout the afternoon on our Facebook, WCYB Facebook and YouTube channel, breaking in as necessary on WCYB to bring you some pertinent and important information on the Metro when we get a new warning. And we just did receive that warning, Kit, for areas of southern Scott, southwest Scott, the eastern part of Hawkins County, northeast Greene, good part of northwest Washington County, Virginia. I'm sorry, no, Washington County, Tennessee, and also the Sullivan County area of Kingsport. Does not include the Bristol part of Sullivan County, but those storms are getting close to Bristol as well.
And we're in this yellow zone.
Okay, and here now we got a tornado warning for that storm. So this is important and critical information. Let me just read what we got here as far as the tornado warning is concerned. This as of 4:07 p.m. just now, the National Weather Service in Morristown issuing a tornado warning for southwestern Sullivan County, northeastern Hawkins County, northwestern Washington County and East Tennessee, northeastern Greene County, and south central Scott County in Virginia until 4:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Burgoynesville in Hawkins County are about 13 miles southwest of Gate City, moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. And this says here it's a radar indicated tornado. Possible rotation that might result in a possible tornado is moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. This dangerous storm near Burnsville right now, and will be impacting areas of near Kingsport between now and 4:20. So heads up, take shelter in this area right now. It's a dangerous storm, possibly producing a tornado right now, Kit, in the most eastern part of Hawkins County near Burnsville along 11W, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, this is when we have to start thinking about the action stage, folks, especially if you're in Sullivan County from Kingsport. And it is moving to the south and east. We'll eventually be moving areas around the Tri-Cities Airport. Eventually, are pretty close to it. We'll start zooming into some of these towns here in a minute. But one thing you need to keep in mind, think about your safe place. Go ahead and have a place in mind. If you live in this tornado warning zone, have a place that's the most interior room of your home. If you have a basement, that's the most ideal place to go to. So definitely the basement.
Let me go ahead and put on the wind velocity. And then you can tell folks where that possible tornado is most likely occurring, or at least where the rotation was. Last scan, we'll probably be getting a new scan shortly coming up here a little bit, but you can see the rotation there. It might be a little bit old on this scan here.
Yeah, every 5 minutes, by the way, folks, we'll get these scans. So yeah, if you kind of pick out the storm, look at that though. Look at the there's a good area of rotation with this. We'll look at storm relative velocities a little bit more. What we'll be looking for is for areas where the red, the green meet together. We call this the storm couplet, the tornado signature with this, the potential one. So you notice within the green, that's where it's heading towards the radar, red going obviously away, but it looks like the strongest area of rotation. Kind of pick it out there. I'm trying to.
It's probably a little bit old, Kid. It said it was just to the west of Gate City, so it's right there on the upper side of Hawkins County, near Burnsville, Churchill Points North, it looks like.
Yeah, something else I do want to mention, I know we saw this a little bit earlier. Sometimes you'll have, of course, like the main area of rotation kind of showing up back here. Actually, definitely see that. The other thing that I do want to keep folks kind of alerted to, kind of at the head maybe of this tornado warning in this area, could be also looking at some broad, at least broad rotation at the moment to me as well, kind of in this general zone right here.
And so obviously, folks, within this tornado warning area, which is the red polygon, this does include areas from Churchill, Mount Carmel, areas near Okolona. It does include the Kingsport area, especially the southwest parts of Kingsport, from Vernon Heights toward Poplar Grove, Blair Gap, Colonial Heights, and then it extends into northern parts of Greene County, including Geraldstown, up into the northwest and west parts of Washington County, Virginia. That tornado warning does also include Fall Branch, and it extends into other parts of Washington County, Greene County, where the storm has yet to move in. But moving to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour, let's go ahead and do a quick track on this and let folks know approximately where the dangerous part of this storm is going to be here over the next hour or so. Let's just kind of make a assumption that it's about right through here. There are some showers and storms ahead of where that tornadic signature is developing, but this moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. So that's approximately some of the timing of where that storm may be that has the tornado with it, potentially. Shouldn't say it's not a for sure thing, a tornado indicated radar indicated tornado. So
perhaps that would be included here within that zone. This is a general time frame. It would be Bays Mountain around 413. It's almost there, definitely close by. 419 for Eastman, around the Eastman Chemical Plant. Colonial Heights, 427. Looks like eventually, assuming it holds together as current strength, it's a strong storm. 437 or so around Gray. Boones Creek will be about 446, just kind of a general estimate. Even Johnson City, assuming it holds together, as late as around 450.
I'm going to do more of a wide scan. I don't want to discount any part of this storm that could potentially have, the tornado with it. I'm going to make more of a wide scan here of the dangerous part of this storm and move it off to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour, approximately that area right through here.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give a couple more towns here. So around the Indian Path Hospital, by the way, too, looks like it might be cutting it off just a little bit.
Do I need to move it? Sorry.
No, totally good. 419 or so around the Indian Path Hospital 425 or so for Colonial Heights, Gray 435, Tri-Cities Airport around 438 or so, and Boones Creek around 445. That does include really the heart of the Tri-Cities area, excluding Bristol, but you know, Kingsport down into around the airport area.
Yeah, and a broader severe thunderstorm warning kind of wrapped around the tornado warning, but nonetheless, let's see if we get another look at the tornadic wind field, or at least the potential tornadic wind field that the National Weather Service and Doppler radar are keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. So the one that they're mainly ironed out the details on here with the warning is this one that's kind of west of Carter's Valley. You see the green, that's where the winds are heading towards the radar. The red are actually the winds blowing away. If you take the total, that's where you get your, technically the tornado couplet, the amount of winds that's with that tornado couplet.
So you got to kind of keep an eye on this whole general area here. Don't want to exclude anything, but this general area with perhaps the bullseye kind of being right here. Would you not say, let me put my...
Yeah. Also, is there a way too, we'll kind of cover the general community. We can also maybe even zoom in just briefly to see if we can give you a little better idea maybe on some communities that may be included within this hardest area of rotation or so. So north of New Canton, I see that. But then you do see Carter's Valley Road, some of that rotation along the Carter's Valley Road, if you're in that community.
And Mount Zion Road.
Mount Zion Road, absolutely.
To the north of Volunteer High School, New Canton, Church Hill, North Central Avenue, Old Lincoln Road, Carter's Valley Elementary School. All of these areas need to be in your safe place currently.
How about Old Union Road there too? Just wanted to add that.
Absolutely, and Church Hill too, as this storm continues to push off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So it's moving at a pretty good clip there. We just got a new scan right there. Let's see what so right in this zone right here, we just got that new scan coming in. Looks like the dangerous part of that storm that shows the most decisive circulation rotation to me is kind of right there north of New Canton, wouldn't you not say?
Absolutely. Yeah, north of New Canton. Here's the Old Union Road here along this. So that would also be kind of in that zone because it goes along there. Then to the north, some of these roads that are associated with that right up to the north there of Old Union Road would also be where I'm seeing the strongest rotation. We just got a new scan. Right there too, still in the Old Union Road community, well, around there, and north of New Canton is kind of where we're looking at that.
So it looks like
rotation.
Let's see if I can maybe just see what the velocity is here with some of these stronger wind fields right there. That's pretty strong there. Winds going away and toward the radars where that couplet is showing up now. Getting close to areas around New Canton and Church Hill along Old Union Road, Country Lane. We've got North Central Avenue, Carter's Valley Elementary School. Is that Bud Ward Road? I cannot serve. I'm not seeing that too well.
Looks like
Carter's Valley
Carter's
Road.
Valley. Yeah.
Old Union Road, North New Canton toward New Canton, getting close to 11W, this possible tornado right now in the eastern most part of Hawkins County. Just kind of pull out a little bit here and show you how this relates to where the Kingsport area is. This here is kind of the area that we're keeping a close eye on right there. Getting close to 11W between Volunteer High School and Church Hill and Mount Carmel. Kingsport back to the east a little bit. Here is the Sullivan County line right through here. There's Bays Mountain. So this is the Hawkins County and Sullivan County line right there. And we'll go ahead and move this. You can see that possible tornado is moving right toward the Church Hill area currently with the movement of that storm at southeast at about 35 miles per hour or 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, and like you just mentioned, Church Hill, this is moving to the south and east, and well, we just got a new scan there. Look how close this is now to the Church Hill community with some of these roads that are associated with that area of Hawkins County.
All right, so Kate, we got a new warning here that we want to bring to the attention of everybody. I'm going to put the reflectivity back on there, but just if you're in the Church Hill area right now of Hawkins County, anywhere within that radius of eastern Hawkins, northern Greene, western Sullivan County, you need to be in your safe place right now. But we do want to bring your attention to another tornado warning that was just issued. I believe, what's this we got here?
Oh, in Washington County.
Oh,
I
there
think
it is, over here.
Yeah.
There it is, okay.
Grabbing it.
This is for the storm that is settling through Washington County, Virginia. All right, and you can see a pronounced little hook on that cell right now, moving through the Washington County, Virginia area. So this new tornado warning is in effect until 5 o'clock, and this tornado warning includes the eastern parts of Sullivan County, just to the east of Bristol. It does not include Bristol or Watauga Lake, or at least it does. It might not Watauga. I say Holston Lake. It does kind of maybe the northern part of Holston Lake in Washington County, but it also includes eastern Washington County, Virginia, and northeastern Johnson County until 5 p.m. And you can see that polygon flashing right there. This is a new tornado warning in effect for those areas through 5 o'clock, and this storm that has the possible tornado with it, located near Abingdon, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. So folks in the Abingdon area need to be in your safe place now, your lowest level of your home, perhaps in a centrally located place like a hallway, under the steps, or a bathroom that would be away from windows. Cover your head with a pillow if you can. Make sure the kids and everybody are inside, and that if you are not in a safe structure, you get to one immediately. With these storms pushing to the southeast at now 35 miles per hour, Kit.
Yeah, and I know we had just mentioned this earlier, but so important to emphasize your safe place. You know, if you have a basement, that is really the most ideal place. But if you don't, centermost room, don't be afraid to go ahead and just wear a helmet. If you're in this general area right here, or just north of Abingdon, I would, or including the Abingdon area. And another thing to keep in mind, mobile homes, I know we mentioned this earlier, but mobile homes are not a safe place when it comes to tornado warnings.
All right, so kind of in this zone right here is where it looks like our radar indicated tornado would be currently, with areas near the Johnston Memorial Hospital, Mills Creek, Whites Mill Road, just to the east of Abingdon, where this possible tornado is being indicated by Doppler radar. This would include areas of Washington County, but the warning does extend into areas of Johnson County, as well as the northeast, eastern Sullivan County, the northeast tip of Sullivan County.
Yeah, the strongest part of that tornado couplet, too, so close here to the Johnston Memorial Hospital there. Look at that, where you have the winds going away. So in the oranges here, in this case, kind of linking it up here with this information, you notice that's still winds going away from radar onto the green, or the grayish green color here, too. It's west. So you get, look at that number there heading away from radar, 88 miles per hour. If you were to mix all this down to the surface, you could be looking at, and prayerfully this is not the case, we certainly pray for these folks here, but it could be looking at winds maybe in excess of 100 if you mixed all this down to the surface. That is certainly something that bears watching, in my opinion, right here. This is the strongest area, the strongest couplet associated with that winds right here to here.
So I would say area near the Coombs Rec Center, also Johnson Memorial Hospital, Hyder, close to the Glen Roque Country Club, Whites Mill Road. All these areas are definitely under the gun here for a possible tornado in the area of eastern and central Washington County, Virginia currently. That warning in effect until 5 p.m.
Absolutely. It does, the strongest part of that rotation too being picked up right pretty close here to the interstate around I-81, and even these northern roads kind of associated here with the near that interstate change right there. You do have basically the hardest core part of the storm is located around that area with the strongest winds, and of course downpours, and even generally here around the thunderstorm you could still be looking at 60+ mile per hour winds, because beyond this it's still severe thunderstorm warned. So even outside of the tornado signature, but obviously, you know, our main concern at the moment, kind of looking in out at this, would be around that tornado signature area.
I mean, let's do a track on that one, Kit, and we'll show you the movement is to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. Let me do this over here. I'm going to pull back on the vantage point here so that we can get the whole track in here for an hour coverage. So basically, from about right here, southeast at, I'm going to pull back a little bit more even.
So yeah, with some of the towns that would be included, we're going to kind of hone in into that zone right there. I mean, it is moving east, south, and east, so go ahead and have a tornado-safe place in mind, perhaps even if you live in the Damascus community as well, even though it's still a few minutes away. You likely see that storm and the higher cloud tops off in the distance because it is moving east, south, and east. So kind of putting this into motion, if you're in the Friendship community, which is right about now, 423, go ahead and seek shelter. The Damascus area around 435, White Top, obviously around the White Top Road and that way, 439, Laurel Bloomery, 445, Grayson, 452, assuming that it holds a strength there, but certainly in these communities right in here around Alvarado, some of those areas, you need to go ahead and seek shelter since this is tornado warned.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get video live shot of Abingdon, Virginia, see what we got there. It looks like things are a little bit off to the northeast of downtown Abingdon, but certainly that storm has the potential to produce a tornado right now in the area of Abingdon points east along Interstate 81, and that tornado warning until 5 p.m. extreme northeast tip of Sullivan County, as well as into northeastern Johnson County until 5 p.m. We give you an update now on that tornado warned storm in eastern Hawkins, as well as northeast Greene County and the northwest part of Washington and southwest Sullivan County in northeast Tennessee. This warning for tornadic potential is in effect until 4:45 for those counties, and discontinued for the Scott County area since it has moved out. But nonetheless, tornado as of about 3 minutes ago, severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado was to about 7 miles east of Surgoinsville, or just about 10 miles west of Kingsport, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour, and could be half-dollar sized hail with this storm cell right now as well. You can see that hail tracker will zoom into where that most dangerous part of the storm is that could indeed have up to half-dollar sized hail, and that tornado rotation as well, Kit, was near between Surgoinsville and Kingsport. Let's go ahead and put on the storm relative velocity here and see what we got. All right, so at this point, it looks like perhaps still some broad rotation there currently.
Yeah, that looks pretty broad, and then there's still some other little areas that I would at least keep my eye on, but technically not under the warning, but pretty close by here to the warning. Oak Grove technically still under that warning zone. I would be certainly concerned here anywhere you're seeing some of the green on the red in that general area from Gray, pretty close to Oak Grove. And of course, you're still getting the heavy rain and some hail in spots with this. When it's safe to do so, by the way, feel free to send some photos to wcyb.com/chime in when it's safe to do so. But at the moment, this is your concern zone right here in that warning.
And that basically is kind of bounded by an area from Churchill to near Kingsport, Colonial Heights, to Bluntville, to Bristol, Tennessee, southbound close to the Johnson City area, just to the north of Jonesboro, and then to the north of Telford. So that includes a large part of the metro area. These storms are pushing off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. Still the possibility of a tornado with that cell in the right near the Sullivan, Hawkins, and Greene County line, really just to the north of Fall Branch is where it looks like perhaps that tornadic signature is most pronounced, maybe not quite as it was a little while ago, but still a couple areas that we're keeping an eye on regarding the wind fields within these cells.
Yeah, and even just looking at reflectivity, you can see that in a broad sense how much that storm is rotating. And certainly when you start to get these individual couplets kind of showing up, that obviously is some obvious concern. Certainly the green is pretty strong there, and then of course the red. When the two converge, when they're almost near each other, just like this, that's where you get your gate-to-gate shear number, as we mentioned earlier. That's where you'll be looking at some rotation here and back up that direction.
Yeah, so at that last update from the National Weather Service, they were indicating that the rotation was kind of in the area between between Surgoinsville and Churchill, but these are some areas that not necessarily have a tornado with them, but just some areas that we need to keep an eye on for at least looks like some broad circulation within those storm cells. Correct. As they push off to the southeast as well at about 30 miles per hour. But pull Correct. Back a little bit.
It's kind of loose in that little appendage there, kind of close to Churchill.
That's I think is where they were indicating where that rotation, the possible tornado was there in the the northeast part of Hawkins County to the west of Kingsport was where they were indicating maybe the rotation is still there. You can see that, right, Kit? The storm relative velocity in that general area that you were showing, that little kind of hook on the reflectivity.
Absolutely. So yeah, to me that does still look like the strongest, this is the strongest area of rotation around Church Hill. And of course this whole thing is moving south and east. So yeah, you do see it. If you're anywhere in the Church Hill community, especially south and east, kind of right in there in that Church Hill area, that's where I would certainly be looking for.
And heading toward Blair Gap also, and Poplar Grove, Fall Branch community, southwest parts of Kingsport, all of this area, that is where our danger seems to be the most pronounced regarding the visuals here on our velocity on Doppler radar. And like you mentioned, there was a bit of a kind of a little hook right in that general area with the reflectivity as well. But really anywhere along this line, that whole line has a severe thunderstorm warning with it, but a section there in the eastern Hawkins into northeast Greene, northwest Washington, and southwest parts of Sullivan County also have a tornado warning with it, as this cell is pushing off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, we just got another scan there. Still noticing on the reflectivity that little bit of a hook showing up there with that, and on velocities. I am curious if we could maybe here in just a second, maybe take a look at what we term as the correlation coefficients with that. That also could indicate if there's being any kind of potential of debris or something else being lofted. Okay, so right to me, when you start looking at weaker values that would show up in the greens and the blues, that's kind of where I would be keeping my eye on.
All right, let's see what we got here from our Ingalls Camera Network partner in Church Hill. This is a look at the Volunteer High School camera right now. It doesn't look like we have too much showing up on that particular vantage point. We can show you some, see if we can get a couple of other cameras here. In Kingsport, this is the Church Circle downtown area of Kingsport where some heavy rain is currently falling. But right now we're kind of concerned about the area that is just to the southeast of the Volunteer High School camera. Right now moving through the eastern part of Hawkins County, southwest Sullivan County, into northeastern part of Greene and northwest parts of Washington County. Okay, we're going to take a look at the. All right, we'll have to take a look at that. This is the Tennessee Smartway cameras, Interstate 81. Holston River camera vantage point. You can see traffic moving along, but definitely some heavy rain coming down as well. The storms are certainly producing some heavy rain, but we're very much concerned with the possibility of some rotation with these storms. Let's go back to radar, and we'll kind of zoom in and show you where that cell is that is currently being warned for in 2 locations for a possible tornado. The one that we were getting some camera vantage points from Volunteer High School, the cameras there along Interstate 81. The possible tornado, though, seems to be right here, Kit, along the Hawkins, Sullivan, northern parts of Greene and Washington County. Right in that zone right there appears to be where the most dangerous part of this storm cell is right now.
Yeah, that's kind of where you're noticing kind of where that little bit of an impinge is showing up here with the reflectivity. Does seem to be the strongest area where you're actually getting some of that rotation. And of course, just a moment ago, yeah, there we go. So yeah, I just noticed it right along this area. That's kind of where we're seeing the green meeting the red, the strongest tornado couplet signature showing up right in this general area, not far away from Blair Gap. And if you're in this general area, and of course south and east of there, the storm is moving to the east and southeast, will be impacting areas to the south and east with some of these other roads. And a moment ago on the correlation coefficients, as something we look at for debris tracking, it was showing a bit of a debris signature, at least something, perhaps something being lofted in the area, right about that general direction. Also, by the way, meteorologist David Boyd will be joining here in just a second as well.
So David, you're kind of coming in on some active weather that has really exploded across the area here during the course of the past couple of hours, even now in the metro area.
Yeah, and I'm on orange, Mike, by the way. And
2 tornado warnings currently in effect right now. I'm going to zip on over here to the chroma key wall.
So let's recap these warnings. So the warning for Washington County, Virginia, the tornado warning's in place for much of Washington County, Johnson County, far eastern Sullivan County. This is far eastern Sullivan County with that tornado warning. Then the other tornado warning that Dave was just talking about. So that's Green, Hawkins, it's the southern Sullivan. That's till 4:45.
And so we obviously have two storms where folks need to be taking shelter, obviously, already at your place of safety in areas here, especially now south of 11W. It appears to be where the wind shear is the greatest near Blair Gap. We were showing that. That's where the rotation on our velocity of the Power 5 Doppler radar was showing that possible tornado in the southeasternmost tip of Hawkins County near the Sullivan, Greene, Washington County line, right where those three areas, counties come together. And we still have that tornado warning in effect now into central and southeastern parts of Washington County, Virginia, David, for this very intense storm now that has slid south of Lee Highway and south of Interstate 81, but now south and east of the Abingdon area, right near to the south of DeBusk Mill, toward the Damascus area, Alvarado right here, off to the east of Parks Mill. We have that cell. When did you get an update on the tornado warning on that one?
So it just that the tornado warning is in effect until 5 o'clock for eastern Sullivan. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 9 miles west of White Top, moving southeast at 35 miles an hour.
And I just wanted to add something real quick too. We did just get a storm spotter, a trained storm spotter just says they have seen a funnel cloud in the Washington County, Virginia area that did come in just a moment ago.
Yeah, there, 425.
So that was a little while ago.
Yeah.
But not too long ago, and so we can obviously see that we're getting proof that we've got some dangerous weather with this possible tornado now in the Washington County, Virginia area, especially south of Interstate 81 and southeast of Abingdon. But that funnel cloud, you said, Kit, was near Abingdon, Virginia, right? When the spotter saw that at 4:25.
Correct. Yeah, I'm going to look through a few more of these storm reports. We are getting some storm reports in.
So that was at 4:25. In Abingdon, the funnel cloud reported right there. So that's the storm that's moving southeast. And when we look at the storm relative velocity, we can see some of the rotation there north of Damascus. If we back up a little bit, we can see that it was a little bit stronger there, close to Abingdon. That was back
So that's when we had the report, right? Yeah. Around 4:20 or so of the funnel cloud. And so that has since moved down here to, looks like, in the vicinity of an area near or to the north of Damascus. Would you say that would be correct?
Right. So that one's not as strong, but still could cycle and produce a tornado at any time, though.
We're going to go to a SmartWay camera, TDOT. This is Fall Branch right now. And you can see the heavy rain continuing to come down with the storms that are now over this part of Washington County. Of course, the storm being warned for a possible tornado in that general area near and to the north of Fall Branch currently. So folks in this part of Sullivan, Washington, Greene, Hawkins County, right where those four come together, that is where we are looking at the possible tornado that has been Doppler radar indicated. We don't have confirmed reports or any spotter verification of actual funnel clouds or tornadoes with this storm cell, but certainly the indications are by Doppler radar that could be a possibility as these storms are moving southeast about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So look at the amount of lightning, David and Kit. This is pretty intense. In fact, we do have, we want to update folks with a new warning here. This is not tornadic warning. But it is a new severe thunderstorm warning for these storm cells that are coming from the tornado warned storm now just to the
Let me pull that one up by itself here. So I'll go.
This is the new warning here.
There's the newest warning.
It does include the rest of Washington County, Tennessee, to include Jonesboro, Johnson City, all the way into areas of Carter and Johnson County, also into southeastern parts of Sullivan County, and also Unicoi County and Carter County. So this is a pretty broad area of a severe thunderstorm warning. This is just a massive storm complex that really developed pretty rapidly over the past couple of hours. And one part of the western part of the flank of this storm has possible rotation with it. That's why we have the tornado warning. But the whole complex is moving to the southeast, and it's pretty expansive with some tremendous amount of lightning. The counter over the past 15 minutes within this area has over 800 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes with it, indicating the intensity, of course, but also the likelihood that we could have some strong, not necessarily tornadic winds or tornadic cell, but definitely some severe thunderstorm warning criteria winds of at least 60 miles per hour within that entire zone. But here is that area that possibly has still a tornado with it. To the southeast of Blair's Gap, there's Oak Glen Drive, Blair Gap, I should say, and then there's Bayleton Road right here. There's Fall Branch. So this is not very far from Fall Branch, this possible rotation being indicated by Doppler radar. Bayleton Road, there's Highway 93, and there's Interstate 81. We had taken a look at some of the SmartWay cameras in the Fall Branch area. The storm itself, the possible tornadic part of the storm, is now just approaching the Fall Branch area from the northwest. So this is kind of the area that we're keeping a close eye on for the possibility of a tornado within that storm cell as it continues to push to the southeast. Maybe up to 1.25 inch diameter hail. We're talking perhaps larger than quarter-size hail with this storm. Certainly gives us an idea of how intense these storms are as they continue to push off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour.
So it is a radar-indicated tornado warning, and we'll head back to the east for the other tornado warning. And so the storm bearing down on Damascus currently with plenty of lightning. And when we take a look at the wind shear, it's currently not as strong, but these storms can cycle. So just because it doesn't look as strong at the moment doesn't mean we want to let our guard down. There's still some broad rotation over
right
Damascus.
Here, right in through here is where we've got at least some rotations showing up within the storm itself. Maybe not as particularly intense as maybe the one back to the west and the other storm that has a tornado warning with it. But certainly folks in the Damascus area sliding southward along the Tennessee and Virginia state line. There's Taylor's Valley, there's Laurel Bloomery, there's Backbone Rocks. So this entire area, southeastern Washington County, as well as the northeast parts of Johnson County, should be in your safe place currently, as that strong part of the storm that may have a tornado with it is moving from Damascus southbound eventually shortly into northeastern parts of, or northern parts of Johnson County. So here is a look at the other tornado warned storm right now with the wind shear the greatest near Knob Creek Road, it looks like, or that's a different storm. Sorry.
Yeah, there's two areas of rotation that are in the warning. So the rotation near Fall Branch is getting stronger.
Right.
And then there's some broad rotation here near Boones Creek.
Should we get an update on that maybe, or maybe not? It looks like you said, so within that storm complex, it looks like
There's
just got a new scan, and it looks like they may be allowing the tornado warning, will continue the tornado warning, but they are also extending the severe thunderstorm warning in this general area as well. That tornado warning until 4:45, and that new severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:15. So we'll see what they do with this tornado warned storm as it continues to push off to the southeast. And then we got a new tornado warning here, it looks like, David, in areas of Leslie and Harlan County.
Yeah, just quickly want to mention this one. This is in southern Leslie County, moving into Harlan County. Tornado warning until 5:15 for that cell that's moving to the south. So we will watch that as well, but keeping a close eye on the rotation here near Fall Branch and Gabtown, moving southeast toward Hartmantown and Sulphur Springs. And this rotation over Johnson City, Knob Creek and Boones Creek, it's getting a little stronger as well.
So folks in the Johnson City area, as well as in those areas near Fall Branch, those are the two areas that look to maybe have the higher concern of rotation within the storms. Excuse me. And so folks in the entire part of this metro area, from Johnson City back to the west toward Fall Branch, should be in your safe place. Tornado warning continues. Does not quite extend into Johnson City, but like you said, there is some rotation here on the eastern part of this tornado warning, as well as the one that is in and around the Fall Branch area as well.
So just looking at the tornado warnings, we have the tornado warning that's in effect for the Damascus area and Laurel Bloomery, and also in effect for Mountain City, but the storm itself is up near Damascus. Then the tornado warning for Fall Branch down to near Johnson City, that's for a few more minutes, so we should be getting an update very soon on that. And then the third warning for Leslie County and Harlan County.
And so this obviously is something that will continue for the next couple of hours at least, but the dangerous part of these storms are kind of in three different segments. One that's beginning to push into southwest Virginia or will shortly from southeast Kentucky. And then we got the storms here that are affecting the Tri-Cities metro area of Sullivan, Greene, Washington, Sullivan, Carter, and also the third storm here that has the possible tornado warning in southeastern parts of Washington County, Virginia, and now into northeastern parts of Johnson counties where that third tornado warning is. So a lot of folks that are under the gun here for some dangerous weather and should be in your safe place. The best place in your home is on the lowest level, away from windows, preferably an interior room. Have as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible, and avoid areas that are not considered safe. If you do not live in a safe structure and you feel like you have time to get into one, you're maybe downstream these storms, you should be thinking about doing that as well. Mobile homes, not safe places for tornadic kinds of winds, but nonetheless, the interior sections of a home is on the lowest level would offer the safest place to take shelter from even just not ordinary, but damaging thunderstorm winds from a severe thunderstorm warning. Away from windows is the best place to be right now.
I'm just going to add, we do have some photos coming in, and I really appreciate that. When it's safe to do so, wcyb.com/chime-in is the best place to send them. So we do have something on Max 2, just kind of showing when we had that funnel cloud that was over in the distance in Abingdon. That's one of the photos that has just come in, and of course, we'll keep an eye on some.
We may be able to go to Max 2 shortly. Is it show that funnel cloud at all, or?
It's to me, it's very, very hard to tell from the picture, other than just illustrating how strong the storm was in the distance. But yeah, that would be on Max 2.
And so this was of the app from Sandra Sells of Abingdon, Virginia. Definitely you can see the low-hanging clouds there. Perhaps we got maybe a wall cloud in that picture there as well. Something that doesn't necessarily point to that funnel cloud, but certainly we've had the storm spotters, trained storm spotters, indicating that they did see and witness a funnel cloud as it was coming near through the Abingdon area. That storm cell now is moving through mainly the southeast part of Washington County, Virginia currently, and that is near Damascus and pushing south into the north parts of Johnson County near Laurel Bloomery. So I would say the dangerous part of this storm is between Damascus and Laurel Bloomery, pushing off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. But also we have those dangerous storms in the Tri-Cities metro area currently that also have potentially a tornado. It looks like the tornado warning that had been in effect may be being replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm assuming probably with a tornado possible tag with it, David.
Right, and so the rotation is not as strong, so it is now a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. So, but it could cycle and produce another potential tornado. But 102,000 people in this severe thunderstorm warning as it heads into Johnson City. So
folks, even though we have seen a downgrade to a severe thunderstorm warning, it's still a dangerous storm. And with this here, they're not discounting the possibility, the National Weather Service, by looking at the rotation, the circulation, the wind fields within the storm, that it could, like David said, cycle back up or perhaps tighten up the rotation to result in a tornado warning upgrade. So, but right now that is a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning warnings now that we have in effect are for southeastern Washington County, Virginia, and also into the northern part of Johnson County. It looks like here, perhaps along Highway 133. This is northern Johnson County. There's Backbone Rock, there's Laurel Bloomery, there's Crandall, and this is Highway 133. It looks like our rotation potentially then right here. This here is the Sullivan County line right there. So I mean, we're talking right near the eastern tip, but into Johnson County, eastern tip of Sullivan, but this is squarely in Johnson County, but nonetheless pushing off to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. So folks in Johnson County and including the Mountain City area, this storm is pushing down to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour, and will certainly have to be watched very closely as it continues to move toward the Johnson County Memorial Hospital, the historical, and also toward the Mountain City area as we go through the next a few minutes here, of course, for areas around Laurel Bloomery, Wills School around 4:53, Johnson County Memorial Hospital 4:54, Mountain City about 4:59, and Shounds Chapel School around 5 o'clock. That possible tornado may be impacting these areas. Don't have it confirmed, but this is the same storm that storm spotters near Abingdon about maybe a half hour ago did confirm a funnel cloud that was dropping from this storm as it moved through that part of Washington County, Virginia, but no confirmed reports beyond that so far with this storm. But the tornado warning continues in effect until 5 p.m. This does include areas from Damascus to Mountain City and could have up to quarter-size hail with it as well.
So they've taken Sullivan County out of it now that it's into Johnson County. So the Damascus area, Mountain City, Laurel Bloomery in that tornado warning until 5 o'clock. And then the other tornado warning is in southeast Kentucky for southeastern Leslie and portions of Harlan County till 5:15.
And just a heads up to our viewers, pull back just a little bit, that this tornado warned storm, while impacting areas of Leslie County and Harlan County right through here, the tornado warned storm is going to be next, if it holds its intensity and continues to show rotation. The next county in would be Lee County, Virginia. So heads up in Lee County as well. We've got some stronger storms, but not being warned for in Wise County. But certainly that tornado warned storm in Harlan County will be dropping into Lee County here over the next half hour or so, half hour, I would say approximately. But still, we're continuing to watch and monitor this just large cluster of storms, which are impacting much of Washington County and also Carter County and Sullivan County and parts of Unicoi County and Johnson County. This is a live look from our Johnson City Holiday Inn cam on our Ingalls Camera Network. I also believe we've got, they were going to show us a view here from the downtown area of Johnson City, which just shows some tremendous amounts of rain. Here is downtown Elizabethton on Elk Avenue here from the Chamber of Commerce. We can definitely show you the heavy rain. It doesn't necessarily tell us, regarding the winds, where those are the strongest by these cameras, but certainly anywhere within this intense area of storms across the Tri-Cities area, where we have the warnings especially, there could be winds near 60 miles per hour, and some locations may be looking at some up to quarter-size hail with these storms as well as they push through northeast Tennessee. Some definitely heavy rain now on Elk Avenue here in the Elizabethton area of Carter County.
Yeah, this is a video that we just received from a viewer from Vernon Miles, east of Abingdon, kind of showing some of the heavier clouds, well, the thicker cloud tops there in the distance. That was
impressive.
Tornado warned when we got that video in.
And so this is from just east of Abingdon, so very close to where the storm spotter reported the funnel cloud in Washington County, Virginia as well. Thanks, Kit, for getting that, and thanks, Vernon, for sharing that with us. You can submit your viewer pictures and video, wcyb.com/chime-in. Helps us tell the weather story as it happens, but of course we don't encourage you to do that until it is safe to do so. We don't want you to put yourself or any family member in danger trying to get weather video or weather pictures, but of course we do appreciate it when it is safe to do so, and thank Vernon for sharing this video of some pretty ominous, pretty wicked looking storm clouds that were moving through areas east of Abingdon not too many minutes ago.
Let's go back over to Max 1, we'll load up and show you just how heavy the rain is now in downtown Johnson City. Visibility very low.
Just saw a flash of lightning there too, it looks like. So intense storms impacting areas of Johnson City right now. Folks, in your safe place, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning currently, as is other parts of the Johnson City, Jonesboro metro area. It does include areas to just southeast of Bristol, though it looks like much of Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia are missing this round of storms. There are some back toward the Kentucky-Virginia border that may come in a little bit later, but at least short term, the intense weather now is focusing in on areas of the southern part of the metro and the eastern part of the metro, including parts of Sullivan County near Colonial Heights, came through Kingsport to near Bluntville, but the most recent lightning strikes, and there are a ton of lightning strikes in here, stretching across areas of Washington County, Tennessee, especially into Carter County. That's where the most intense part of these storms are, impacting areas from near Sulphur Springs and Jonesboro toward areas of Johnson City, and then extending into the Elizabethton area, including highways 11E, highways 321, 19E. All of these areas definitely getting impacted very heavily by, at the very least, some intense rainfall, which can cause some ponding of road on water on roads that can make driving dangerous. Some dangerous lightning as well. As David kind of pulls back a little bit, you can see within this frame, if you will, about 483 lightning strikes within the past 15 minutes. So some very dangerous lightning with this area of storms as well. And looks like we may have a new warning into Greene County, David.
Yeah, and that one also has a tornado possible tag on it. So severe thunderstorm warning for Greene County till 5:30 for 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. And there is some rotation, but not enough for a tornado warning currently.
And so that area right now stretches from Interstate 81. That's not the exit?
That one would be exit 30.
Exit 30, that's what I thought. So from near the exit 30 on 81, all the way toward the Greenville area, then extending into the Tusculum and Camp Creek area. Here's the velocity, wind speed, and direction where the possible rotation is developing. That's why they included the tornado possible tag. But a severe thunderstorm warning is what we have here, indicating we could have winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. Up to, but probably less than penny-sized hail, and some intense rain and some lightning. This storm is moving to the southeast, probably around 30 miles per hour, David, and will be impacting areas of Greene County, especially areas from north of Mossheim, the Interstate 81 exit right now near exit 30, and then toward the Greenville, Tusculum area. So this severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30 for Greene County. And does that also include areas eastward into, okay, just barely into Washington County, Tennessee, but this is basically a Greene County warning, but our most recent one, live look from Tusculum University right now, looking at not necessarily heavy rain at this location, but upstream back to the northwest is where the more intense part of this storm is currently in Greene County, and stretching from near Mossheim to Greenville. That's the segment now that is the heaviest, but it's moving into Greenville and also Tusculum. So we'll see definitely some intense rains moving to that camera view at Tusculum University here shortly. But we have two storms that have possible tornadic tags, and that's this one here in Washington County, Tennessee, and the Greene County. Looks like the tornado warning for Harlan County has been allowed to be replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, it's now a severe thunderstorm warning, so there's just one tornado warning now.
And that includes areas, especially, I would assume now, mainly into the Johnson County area. That storm rotation, when we last looked at it, looked like it was near just west of Laurel Bloomery, pushing down to the south toward Mountain City, and may be weakening somewhat. Now that has just been, it looks like, not replaced, but it looks like eventually when the warning expires, looks like this just filled in right here. So I think that will be replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. If I got that right, David, don't you think? This just popped in right here.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I mean, the tornado warning's still in effect.
Right.
But it looks like they may be allowing, once that warning.
Yeah, there we go. That warning there, as you mentioned. severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds. And it looks like they've even taken out the tornado
tag.
possible tag on that. So
that's a bit of
better,
good
better
news.
news there.
Maybe this tornado warning will be allowed to expire, and then will be remaining the severe thunderstorm warning without, hopefully, a tornado. But we did have some pretty visible rotation in this storm in the northern part of Johnson County, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago, which we showed you. The most recent scan, though, did look like that rotation had weakened somewhat, and not necessarily posing as large a threat of a tornado as it did a few minutes ago.
I don't know if we can see it on Max 2 here in just a second, but we did get some good video. It looks even better on a smaller screen. Well, here it is. So of that wall cloud and, well, that funnel cloud, I should say, that was over near the Abingdon area. This was taken from the Johnston Memorial Hospital, so near Abingdon. I just wanted to thank Adam Griffin for sending that photo. You could actually, if it plays through all the way, you can really kind of pick it out there off in the distance. You have to kind of give it a second, but it does show up there, I think, very
What did you say was showing up? Go ahead and say it
the
again.
funnel cloud.
Okay.
The funnel cloud.
Well, I mean, it'll probably re-rack here, will it? Now we can see it when it comes
should
back.
hopefully show on TV better. On a smaller screen, it actually shows fairly well. So you can tell that there was a funnel cloud there for sure. Just hard to tell with that, right there.
Right there, yeah. I see where he's pointing up to the left of where that tree branch is. Definitely some dangerous weather out there. And like we had pointed out, there have been at least a couple of reports now of a funnel cloud with those storms as they came through Washington County, Virginia. That storm now in Johnson County, it looks like has weakened at least the rotation sufficiently enough to allow for a severe thunderstorm warning to replace it, but still all of these storms have the capability of producing some strong damaging thunderstorm wind gusts to 60 miles per hour, and that can do damage just like a just like a weak tornado. You get a 60, 70 mile an hour gust, that's a weak tornado kind of wind, and that can do damage as well as it moves through the southern and eastern parts of the metro and northeast Tennessee. Right now it appears where the most active weather is, and also the storms now that are moving into Lee County, for example, in southwest Virginia. So we got two kind of areas of concern. The one that David's looking at here, looking at the wind speeds within those cells, and also the activity pushing through Harlan County into areas of Lee County shortly as well.
Yeah, and so far no warning issued for Lee County. And I was looking, so far there have been about 1,700 customers without power in Carter County, 1,600 in Washington County, Tennessee. So we're starting to see some of the power outage numbers increase.
And that will probably,
from these
like
storms.
you said, probably increase too. And I'm assuming there's probably a good probability, high likelihood that maybe that warning will be extended into Lee County here shortly.
Yeah. But if we go back and look at the rotation, we're going to go back in time here.
There's where it was right there.
Yeah, so that's where it was strongest. So this was at 410. So this is not right now, but this was back at 410. That's when the rotation was the strongest on the northeast side of Abingdon, near exit 19, near the hospital, near Coombs Recreation Center. So that's where the storm had the strongest signature, and then moved down to the southeast after that.
And it looks like it's definitely lost that characteristic quite a bit. A little bit there, though, still.
Yeah, but the tornado warning has been officially allowed to expire, so we no longer have any tornado warnings. We'll pull up just the warnings so you can see all the areas in yellow in the severe thunderstorm warnings, but no tornado warnings currently.
But the two that still have the tagged possible tornado are the little bit darker shade of yellow, correct? Here in maybe
Right,
put,
so we have the one in Greene County, and then this one
maybe we
that
could
includes Johnson
maybe we
City.
could put maybe get a Jonesboro downtown camera in here.
Yeah.
See what that probably, it looks like it's bearing down right now on Jonesboro, and probably have some pretty intense rain showing up on that camera from downtown area. But definitely, regardless whether or not there is going to be damaging winds, you got to also remember that these are kind of training over a northwest-southeast orientation, so there could be some localized flooding with these storms as they move through a given area. Thankfully, we're moving fairly quickly enough, and we're not seeing a long northwest-southeast oriented line, but definitely enough of one that we could see some localized flooding as these storms are moving to the southeast. But there's a live look from our Jonesboro camera downtown on East Main Street. Definitely some heavy rain. The wind is blowing pretty good with some gusty winds currently in the downtown area of Abingdon. That severe thunderstorm warning continues in effect here as we go through the next few minutes, and severe thunderstorm watch continues in effect until 8 p.m. This does include all of northeast Tennessee, western North Carolina. Looks like they may have dropped it for Dickinson, Buchanan, Tazewell, Smith counties, but still until, well, this line coming through the metro, stretching from, well, back west of Kingsport near Burgensville, and then that's not warned for, but these are being warned for, this including the Greenville, Tusculum area, and then Jonesboro, Johnson City, north of Irwin, and then into the Elizabethton, Hampton, Roan Mountain area, Watauga Lake, and then also into Carter County around Mountain City towards Zionville and into North Carolina. Some heavier cells moving in toward the Boone area. All of these also have warnings with them now into the mountain counties of North Carolina, including Ashe, Watauga, Avery, and looks like Mitchell and Yancey also now under severe thunderstorm warnings. Got a couple of storm reports, David, here.
This is from Bluntville area, some minor roof damage at the sheriff's office that was reported as of 420. So that looks like a new report. And this was a little earlier, but a report near Lebanon, several trees down, that was at 410. We talked about the funnel cloud, 425, with the storm earlier in Abingdon. So, and
then some of those storms in Smith County also.
Yeah.
You know, Smith County's been raked pretty hard today. You had that big storm that came through Smith County right around lunchtime or a little bit before, and then we saw another round of heavy storms come through Smith County, you know, mid-late afternoon, and that produced the wind damage that you can see in some of these areas, and looks like some hail, small hail around Beech Mountain. It looks like that report there. But the areas that are of concern continue to be into northeast Tennessee, western North Carolina, with the heaviest now, just regarding the intensity of the lightning strikes, appear to be with this area of storms now. And looks like still some wind shear indicated there in parts of Greene County and also in Washington County near Jonesboro. The overall rotation looks broad, but certainly bears watching. David?
Yeah, bears watching, not strong enough for a tornado warning, and same thing into Greene County.
Right in this zone right here, it looks like.
Yeah.
So you'd have to keep an eye on it. They're warned with the possibility of some strong damaging wind gusts due to severe thunderstorm winds, but also have that tag indicating possible tornado, which just gives a heads up that the rotation isn't significantly isn't significant enough to warrant a tornado warning, but you know, just a deviation, a small deviation uptick in the more intense category could result in that possible tornado warning. But right now we do not have any official tornado warning, but certainly these cells in the Jonesboro area need to be, you know, kept a close eye on, as well as those in the Greenville area of Greene County as well.
Yeah, the heavy rain continues, and it is encouraging to see northern areas being removed from the severe thunderstorm, from the severe thunderstorm watch.
Right.
But still, we have the warnings in place. We'll take off the radar and see the warnings.
Broad area, yeah, that covered by severe thunderstorm
Boone,
warning.
Jefferson, Newland, Bakersville, Burnsville, Mountain City, Roan Mountain, Tri-Cities, Greenville, and then the other warning in Harlan County that has not been extended into Lee County as of yet, but we're seeing the lightning pick up, heavy rain in Pennington Gap.
Mic check.
Probably could look at the Pennington Gap Lee Theater camera and see what's happening there. Probably some heavy rain occurring. That probably won't come to a shock, but to anybody. But that storm is now moving into the Pennington Gap area of Lee County. Here's a live look from downtown. And the heavy rain doesn't look like the wind is particularly strong, which is good to see, but still some heavy rain. Looks like that has even lightened up in the Elizabethton area from our Elk Avenue camera, Chamber of Commerce, but still some heavy rain downtown Johnson City getting hammered. That heavy rain's been over that part of JC for quite a while now.
So let's, speaking of the rain, let's look at some of the rainfall totals. Earlier, we had some of the heaviest rain earlier in the day east of Marion. So as you mentioned, Dave, the totals have not been as heavy for the most part, although it is beginning to pick up here around Jonesboro and Johnson City. So just over the past few hours, about 6 hours or so, inch and a half of rain.
And most of this probably has just been within the past half hour, hours.
Right.
I mean, this is that band that's moving through areas of Washington County.
Yeah.
So with that kind of, I mean, it's not as intense as we have seen with some of these bands over recent weeks, but nonetheless, you get a inch to 2 inches of rain in a short period of time. That will result in some flooding, at least low-lying, poor drainage area, but some minor flooding certainly likely ongoing in some of these spots here to the near and to the southwest of Johnson City toward Jonesboro as well.
I couldn't remember, too, if we had mentioned the storm report from earlier. We may have, but anyway, some minor roof damage there from Bluntville from the sheriff's office. Just wanted to mention that just real quick. And then also just an update on a couple of those power numbers. In Carter County, we're up to almost 1,700 without power. Washington County, Tennessee, about 1,600. And let me see, in Washington County, Virginia, still sitting at 45 right now. Just kind of a quick little update.
And so those flood advisories for the heavy rain have been issued for a good part of the metro as well, indicating obviously the heavy rain that's falling across the area of northeast Tennessee from areas. This rain has since tapered off from Gate City to Kingsport, but flood advisories remain in effect until 7 p.m., stretching all the way across to really the metro from Kingsport, Gate City area down through the Johnson City, Jonesboro area, and then into the Elizabeth and Roan Mountain area of northeast Tennessee. So just be cautious out there. Wait till the storms pass before you travel, and make sure that you can get across a road, a typical low spot in a road or something that sometimes takes on water. These will be more usual types of places that see flooding that are issued for when a flood advisory is issued, not a flash flood warning. It usually is a more of a low end situation as far as the flooding is concerned. But if you live in a flood prone or low lying or poor drainage area, you know what happens, and it can happen pretty quickly and cause some challenges in spots as well. So be mindful of that. Severe thunderstorm warnings, though, continue to be the main thing we keep an eye on here in areas of northeast Tennessee from Greenville, with that cell still has a possible tornadic tag with it, indicating, when I say tornado tag, severe thunderstorm warning, but tornado possible. And you can see that it's impacting a good part of the metro area, especially on the side of the storm here, stretching from near Unicoi up toward the Johnson City and Jonesboro area. Definitely not as tight a circulation rotation with these storms, but still it looks like a lot of, kind of volatility with the wind flow within these storms, indicating, some broad rotation, broad shear, wind shear with these storms yet, and that's why we're keeping an eye on it. But at this point, not leading to the likelihood of a tornado at this point, David.
Right, and the other cell is over Greenville, some very heavy rains.
Impacting areas to Greenville, Tusculum,
Yeah.
Alexander Mill, Camp Creek as well, all the way back west toward the Mount Pleasant area. You can see the rainfall rates here of 3 to 4 inches. Not that it will rain that much, but if it stayed over a given location for an hour, that's how much rain would fall. And that's how hard it's falling underneath these storms as well. Hence the concern for at least some minor flooding as these storms roll across areas of Greene County and other parts of the Tri-Cities as well. The storm warnings for severe weather, severe wind gusts continue for a good portion of the Tri-Cities, especially the south and east parts of the metro area currently, with the storm reports that we've seen so far have been more, typical kinds of reports of some wind damage to some trees and some minor property damage there at the sheriff's law enforcement. Well, I can't remember where that was in Sullivan County. Where was that?
Yeah, we'll go back to that. So that was at the sheriff's office.
Sheriff's office,
some minor roof damage there at the sheriff's office.
So I mean, we're not getting reports of large scale wind damage, which is good. but we have had, you know, this come through over the past couple of hours. So storm reports will continue to come in as we go through the next couple of hours, and we'll likely see these icons become more, you know, numerous across northeast Tennessee. But these are the ones we're getting reports of now from the National Weather Service, from various spotters around northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia. Within the past hour, we've had reports of several trees down in the Wise County area of Pound, near Pound, there along U.S. Highway 23 in the northern part of Wise County, with several reports into Smith County as well. But right now, the main concern is the storm activity stretching across northeast Tennessee and into western North Carolina, where we have a large part of the viewing area currently under severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yeah, it stretches from North Wilkesboro to Greenville now, all under a severe thunderstorm warning. And if we look at the times of these, so the Greene County ones until 5:30, it has some rotation with it, but not enough for a tornado warning. The one for the Johnson City, Jonesboro area, that's just for a couple more minutes. The severe thunderstorm warning for Carter County, let me just pull up one at a time here. So that area, it's also for just a few more minutes. For the Roan Mountain area, for the severe thunderstorm warning till 5:45. So a lot of these are for the potential of 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. In Boone and Jefferson, that's a severe thunderstorm warning till 5:30 for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Could have some quarter-sized hail, some rotation with it. And then in Avery County, and also Mitchell-Yancey County is till 5:45. So this is basically now a line of storms stretching from Jefferson, Boone, Newland. Tons of lightning over Jonesboro, heading into Unicoi right now. Very heavy rain there. And then the cell over Greenville. And you can see the amount of lightning is really increased. And a new severe thunderstorm warning for southern Greene County till 5:45. Basically just an extension of that one warning that we were just talking about over Greenville. The warning to the north in Harlan County has not been extended into Lee County. So I bet this probably has what we call a strong thunderstorm. So yeah, a special weather statement, we call it a strong thunderstorm alert, just below severe levels for Jonesville, Pickerington Gap, Harlan, and they also included the Big Stone Gap earlier. We check out the amount of shear in the atmosphere. So it's not as strong, but there's still just a few pockets of some rotation. So nothing strong enough for the need of a tornado warning. But we'll see as this one warning over Johnson City expires here. I think the only two in northeast Tennessee left with the tornado possible tag will be over Greene County, Dave.
And so we're continuing to keep an eye on these storms that have the severe thunderstorm warnings with them. We've got the warning that's flashing right now, Felicia, as you were talking about, for Greene County until 5:30 for about another 15 minutes. The stronger, most intense part of this rain is moving through the Greenville and Tusculum area and then stretching down toward Viking Mountain and Camp Creek. And then probably our two areas that have the most intense rain right now, this area near Elizabeth and Johnson City Point south toward Okolona, just to the east of Jonesboro, now stretching toward Unicoi along Interstate 26. Definitely a rough go of that currently, and that's extending into the northern part of Unicoi County. And the flashing yellow indicates a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 for this area as well, David, is that correct?
Yeah, for this area, it's actually 5:45.
5:45, but does not have the tornado potential tag with it. And then we got some new development, kind of the northwest, that's not being warned for back over the area of northern Greene into eastern parts of Hawkins County. This here also has some very intense rainfall. This is already coming over an area that has at least seen some pretty intense rain. So in addition to the possibility of some strong gusty winds and maybe some small hail, could be some localized flooding with that cell. Not being warned for, but that looks like it's kind of a recent development here as far as the intensity of that storm over the past 15-20 minutes as well.
And it looks like that the National Weather Service in Morristown is just going to go with a special weather statement for Lee County, Dave.
Okay. So the severe thunderstorm warning for Harlan County around Martins Fork Lake will be handled by a strong thunderstorm special weather statement here for areas of Lee County, for Jonesville up toward Pennington Gap. So it doesn't appear, unless it flares up, that we're going to see a severe thunderstorm warning for Lee County, but certainly dangerous enough storm that you need to be in your place of safety until that storm passes. But looks like winds may be around 40 or 50 miles per hour as it comes into Lee County, but maybe staying below the severe threshold as far as wind gusts to near 60 miles per hour, probably staying below that. But we do have some heavy rain now coming through Tuscaloosa University. That warning continues for Greene County. The heavy rain and no doubt some strong gusty winds here as well. The most recent lightning data suggests we've got about 370 plus 395 lightning strikes within this very intense band of rain coming through Greene County. Heavy downpours extend as far back west, kind of redeveloping near Bulls Gap. But the warned part of the storm now for this activity moving through Greenville, Tusculum, Camp Creek area of Greene County. And then we just got a new scan here showing that the heavier storms are beginning to pull out of Washington County, Tennessee, and impacting areas from the Beauty Spot here in Unicoi County to near Irwin, but especially here south of Okolona, and then through the upper northern part of Unicoi County, and then slightly into Carter County, that heavy part of the storm. But there are heavy showers and thunderstorms in Carter County as well. But the bullseye for the heavy rain now is just near and east of Interstate 26, it looks like, there in the northern part of Unicoi County, kind of exiting Johnson City. But some new stuff kind of flaring up as well here back to the west as well. That looks like a new storm report coming out of Hawkins County near Kingsport. Yeah, it's a little delayed, but from about an hour ago, several trees down in Mount Carmel. So more reports continuing to filter in, along with the wind damage to the sheriff's office in Sullivan County from that same storm, or from that same line of storms a little bit earlier. And we just got this, it just popped on. Power pole struck by lightning and exploded near the intersection of 394 and 11E. Wow. So impacting traffic there. So that'd be this one right here, right on the south side of Bristol. Right, yeah. Yeah, you don't see the lightning storm report icon very often. Not terribly often, but when something explodes. That's certainly warrants it. Yeah. Wow. Lightning can be as dangerous as the winds if you can, depending on how it impacts a given area, can knock out power like to hundreds of people that we've seen in various locations with these storms, but also can cause some damage if you're outside during a thunderstorm. And of course, we always say when thunder roars, move indoors. Whether it's severe or not, lightning is always an ever-present danger when it comes to thunderstorms any time of year. I was going to say this time of year, but any time of year, obviously. But still looking at some pretty intense weather moving across now, continuing across the south and east parts of northeast Tennessee. The warnings remain in effect for parts of Carter County and Unicoi County, easternmost part of Washington County. There's this one also for Unicoi County into Greene County. Looks like that one may be a new one there that just came out that extends it toward Madison County and into the southern part of Unicoi County. Yeah, that is a new one into Madison County, right. And so for that same line of storms. Looks like that may have a tornado tag with it as well, perhaps. Yeah, I'll pull that back up here. Nope, my bad. Not that one, but yeah, the one in Greene County does still. So that still has the possibility of some dangerous winds with it as it continues to move from the Greenville-Tusculum area down through the south and east parts of Greene County toward the mountains in Greene County and near Viking Mountain. Those also moving into the southern part of Unicoi County as well, as these storms are kind of flaring back up here in northern Greene, northwest Washington County, into eastern Hawkins County, and near the Sullivan County line. So heads up Falls Branch, Geraldstown, Sulphur Springs, near Churchill. Redevelopment of these storms not being necessarily warned for severe weather, but they are kind of just flaring up. So that is a possibility that we'll have to keep an eye on here over the next 15 minutes or so to see how that intensifies or holds its own, see if we need a warning with it. But that's definitely some new development here within the past few minutes, especially that the storm has really kind of blown up near the Hawkins and Greene and Washington and Sullivan County line. Another storm just southwest of Kingsport. And there's the estimated 3-hour rainfall totals that have occurred with this line of storms just really over the past hour or so, which maybe a little bit more than an hour, but anywhere from 1 to more than 2 inches of rain estimated here from northern parts of Unicoi County into the southwest part of Carter, and then up toward the Johnson City area, toward Jonesboro. That area right through here, estimates from radar locally 2 inches or more in spots, which is resulting in that flood advisory, which is pretty broad and extends across areas from Scott County all the way through the metro of Washington County, Sullivan County, Hawkins County, into Unicoi County as well.
Okay, so we've just got a flash flood warning, Dave.
Okay.
So this, we pulled that up so you can see where this is. And so the flash flood warning actually stretches from Fall Branch through Johnson City, Elizabethton. Doppler radar indicating up to 2.5 inches of rain falling, as we were showing. And so this is radar indicated flash flood warning, but it is an upgrade to the flood advisory they were talking about. So the flash flood warning extends from Fall Branch, includes Gray, Sulphur Springs, Boones Creek, entire Johnson City metro area down into Okolona as well. As for the severe thunderstorm warning, that's still further to the southeast near Unicoi. But as Dave mentioned, we're watching this other cell, and I think the concern is that the heavy rain that's now over Fall Branch is going to be moving over this saturated ground. So all of that heavy rain over Geraldstown, Fall Branch, moving southeast towards Sulphur Springs. So that's more of the concern now. So to recap all of the warnings, for severe especially, they stretch from basically all the mountains in North Carolina. Still a lingering severe thunderstorm warning for Roan Mountain, Irwin, Greene County, and including Viking Mountain. And then the flash flood warning there in the outline of green. And it's for the more urgent situation of, one, the rain that's already fallen, Dave, but that same cell that we've been talking about, that heavy rain is going to be moving back over.
Exactly.
Yeah, the rain over Fall Branch and Geraldstown.
And even though it doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning with it, it is as intense a rain as it is where the warning is, a severe thunderstorm warning. So this may be kind of what we are going to be talking about as far as the next part of the weather story, is the possibility of some flash flooding as the second pretty sizable storm moves back over areas that have seen up to 2 inches or more of rainfall. So that could lead to some flash flooding, and that's why the flash flood warning. The flood advisory covers a larger part of the metro, but that flash flood warning extends in a more narrow zone, but indicates a higher priority, a higher urgency, higher sense of urgency, and the need to be more cautious if you live in a flood-prone location, if you travel through or have roads that typically can flood. You've got to make sure that you don't attempt to cross a flooded roadways. Most flash flood related fatalities occur in vehicles or people who try to cross a dangerous road or a segment of road that may not even be there. You know, the integrity of the road is unclear. You know, you don't know how much water's over it. It's just best not to cross any kind of flooded roadway. And with the flash flood warning, that, you know, kind of bumps up the sense of the flood potential. Again, we have a flood advisory for an area larger than this, but the flash flood warning does include areas from Fall Branch to Colonial Heights to Gray to Boones Creek to Sulphur Springs to Jonesboro, Johnson City, just south of Piney Flats to Elizabethton, Okolona, north of Unicoi, Tiger Valley, and Hampton, and points toward Roan Mountain. That's where that flash flood warning is in effect until 8:15. David, let's go for just kind of a brief summary of where the storms are. We're going to throw it to the news at 5:30, and of course we will be here ready to break in with any additional details as they become necessary. But right now we do have those flash flood warnings still in effect, severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect for parts of northeast Tennessee. But the severe thunderstorm warnings have exited the metro, correct? And we're kind of focusing in on the mountains now of Tennessee, North Carolina. But the renewed area of heavy rain that is causing concern with this second area of intense rain that is beginning to push into that flash flood warning area that we had showed the kind of the aerial outline of that just a little bit ago. But stay with us. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks with David Boyd, Meteorologist David Boyd, and Kit Alexander. Right now we're going to throw it to our colleagues, Casey Getz, in the news department here at the set after this break.
Couple really good videos and photos. I'm going to try to get you ready. I got you one photo ready. The video was so big that it was taking too long.
What's that?
Good job, guys.
Yeah, we can do it. Let's show some. Do you have those videos and pictures?
I have, I have 2 photos at the moment, but the videos are being real.
Weather alert, Dave. Parts of the Tri-Cities under a tornado warning. Dave has the latest.
From WC.
Thank you.
Let me grab those 2 and throw
There's a
them
couple
on
more
the top.
storm reports you show later. There's
Thank you.
Oh, I need mine. If it's what?
I was trying to get a minute 30. We're just going to
It's not yet. Now it is.
an overview of what's going on. Try to have the native
Rebecca, are your keys over here?
and then go back and forth.
Kits.
Is it hard to do that during the show?
I don't know. You can sure try.
They say that if we just had 3 people per blood drive extra, that it would help the
Thank you.
Sorry, those aren't mine.
Right here?
Uh,
I don't know who's.
Can you guys hear me, or can we get these in here real quick?
I do.
Yes.
Can we go to max 2 if I say let's take some pictures, or do we have to do it all max 1? Okay, let's start with max 1, do radar, and then Kit's going to talk over some pictures. Is that okay? Okay. What mic are you on, Kit?
I think it's the yellow. It's
Yellow, yellow.
From WCYB, this is News 5 at 5:30.
Well, we let Dave and the boys catch their breath for a couple of minutes, but now we're going to go right back to them with the latest updates.
Yeah, we've got still some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, guys. They have since exited the Tri-Cities metro, all right, but I do want to give you an update on where the severe warnings are currently for possible damaging wind gusts and possible small hail. But you can see the areas that are covered in yellow. Those are the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect. The one for yet another 15 minutes includes areas of southeast Greene and the southwest tip of Unicoi County. Still a little rotation with that, so that could have not only some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, but possibly a small chance of a brief spin-up tornado with that. Other severe thunderstorm warnings until 5:45 also for Unicoi County and also parts of Carter County, and then one more severe thunderstorm warning for quite a few blocks of counties in areas of North Carolina. These storms here in Lee County do not have a severe thunderstorm warning with them, but definitely some active storms. And I do want to point out, even though we do not have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the second area of storms that have really blown up during the past half hour or so, there is a flash flood warning in effect for this area also. I think we're going to be able to show that to you. There we go. Flash flood warning until 8:15 for areas in Sullivan County near Colonial Heights, northern Washington County near Fall Branch, DeGray to Boones Creek, Johnson City, Jonesboro, and then into Carter County near Hampton and Elizabethton. Radar estimates of over 2 inches of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain during the past couple of hours, resulting in some concern for some high water. I also want to throw it to my colleague, meteorologist Kit Alexander. Got a couple of pictures from viewers that we've had sent in to us.
Yeah, we've received some really good photos and videos, and I'm going to try to get as many of these out to you folks as possible. But number one, just wanted to start with this one. Check this out. So when we had that rotating storm that was coming through the Hawkins County area and it was heading into Greene County and so forth, look at this photo that Cheryl Fillers was able to pick up there from Mossheim. Now, there was also some good video with this, which we're going to try to get on a little bit later. A couple more photos I just wanted to show you real quickly, just kind of illustrating the strength of some of these storms. This was taken a little bit earlier from Abingdon, but we actually did have confirmed reports from trained storm spotters of a funnel cloud that occurred there as well. So obviously we're getting some reports in. We'll keep you updated on that just to confirm if one did actually touch down. We'll have the latest update on that.
All right, so we do want to let you know that we were talking about that storm in Greene County that had possible rotation with it. Now, the National Weather Service has upgraded that warning to a tornado warning for southeastern Greene and southwestern Unicoi County until 6 o'clock. So that warning for this cell right here at a little after about a minute ago, 5:32, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Greenville, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. And again, this is a radar indicated rotation, not a confirmed rotation, but this includes areas of Interstate 26 in between mile markers 48 and also 54, as well as areas of southeastern Greene and southwestern Unicoi counties, including the following locations of Camp Creek and Rocky Fork. That storm is moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. We'll put let me see if I can get a track on that for you and put it at 25 miles per hour and show you, first of all, I'm going to show you where the rotation is indicated by Doppler radar. And meteorologist David Boyd is here with no mic, but we are going to maybe get him mic'd back up. But there you can see kind of in the southern Camp Creek foothills there, near and southeast of Camp Creek, maybe in a general area from north of Hayesville toward Camp Creek, Viking Mountain area. That also includes the area maybe south of Greenville near Staunton Mill. This whole kind of general area indicating the possibility of a tornado right now on Doppler radar. Not necessarily a confirmed tornado, but like so many of these storms have shown, the rotation significant enough that they bumped that warning now up to a tornado warning, especially in the area of Camp Creek, Alexander Mill, and Camp Creek foothills, the White Sand, just in that general area bounded by those communities and locations that I have been listing. So, David, there you have kind of a better handle right now of where the winds are currently coming from inside that rotation.
Yeah, and it's getting a little stronger. Let me pull up the latest here. So that rotation is getting stronger. Unfortunately, here on the south side of Camp Creek, So this is moving into the National Forest, but it's close to Sunnyvale Road and Green Mountain Road, moving southeast pretty quickly toward Viking Mountain. So if we back up here, you can see how quickly that this spun up. And unfortunately, these can do that sometimes. They can spin up very quickly. So we're seeing that rotation again in the southern portion of Greene County, the southern sections of Camp Creek. The tornado warning until 6 p.m. So radar indicated tornado.
And that's
So-
a warning till 6 p.m. So, especially areas south of Greenville, correct?
Right.
Into the mountain.
Yes, this is-
near getting close to the Tennessee-North Carolina border.
Right. And moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. So I'll finish the StormTrack right here. So it's moving into the mountains.
But definitely some impressive rotation showing
Right.
up within that cell over the south parts of Greene County near the Camp Creek foothills as labeled there on radar in an area kind of bounded by Margaret Falls to the north and Hayesfield to the south, right near near the Camp Creek foothills. You can see pretty strong velocities going toward and away from the radar, and you get those tight little what we call a couplet in the opposing wind field. That is why the severe thunderstorm warning was upgraded to a tornado warning. We had indicated that it was a tornado possible storm, and now it is a tornado likely, or at least significant certainty that there could be a tornado within that storm. Not a confirmed one, but we do have that possibility. That's why the tornado warning was issued and replacing the severe thunderstorm warning for southeast Greene and the small part of southwest Unicoi County, mainly over the high country now it looks like.
Yeah. So this is south of Camp Creek, but it's a pretty strong signature of a tornado.
Right here.
Yeah.
So there's Camp Creek, there's Kinzer Park, there's Staunton Mill, and back to there's South Greene, and so it's south of Greenville. There is the Madison County line right here of North Carolina. I believe that is right there. So,
and the tornado warning's been extended into North Carolina. No surprise.
Right.
For Madison County, Yancey County.
So that does, includes part of the central mountains of Yancey and also into Madison County. That would include areas along south of Sam's Gap along Interstate 26 going into North Carolina. The tornado warning does include the Sam's Gap area, but right now it looks like the tornado part of the storm that has the tightest circulation would be right here near Camp Creek of southern Greene County. There's the Cherokee National Forest, but definitely some strong wind fields above the surface, and we've got that wind wrapping around in the rotation, causing that concern for a tornado in the southern part of Greene County, mainly rural sections into the higher elevations, but definitely a dangerous part of the storm now moving through the southern areas, southeastern portions, most portions of Greene County. Just got a new radar scan there as well.
Let me go back to the velocity. So we should get an update on this velocity pretty soon. So storm moving southeast. So there's the wider view of we'll just look at just the tornado warnings. So for southern Greene County, south of Greenville, the Viking Mountain area, includes the Sam's Gap area. The warnings just south of the Welcome Center, includes Rocky Fork, and then goes toward the North Carolina Welcome Center and Mars Hill, with the most intense rotation right now still. It's near Viking Mountain Road, near the foothills, Cherokee National Forest, Green Mountain Road. But if we go back, you can see how this.
Yeah, that rotation really just kind of developed over a pretty short period of time, a matter of minutes.
Right.
And that's why the severe thunderstorm warning was replaced with a tornado warning. And definitely you can see the shear right there. So here's the debris tracker, correlation coefficient. Does anything stand out there?
Yeah, that.
Right, does this perhaps?
Yeah, that might be some debris. I'd like to see one more scan, but that could possibly be some debris being picked up by the tornado. So the amount of rotation is pretty strong. We'll go in just a little bit closer again and show you some of the numbers. So yeah, 56 miles an hour versus 38 miles an hour going the opposite direction.
It's a pretty tightly organized, or tight little couplet there between the opposing wind fields as well, and that's what is most concerning when you start to see the rotation within a thunderstorm, maybe starting out broad like it was maybe a half hour ago back to the northwest, and then all of a sudden it comes together and you see the tightening up of that couplet, and the end result is the tornado warning that is currently in effect for the mountainous, the foothills area of southern Greene County into in Cherokee National Forest, and around Viking Mountain, especially to the south of Viking Mountain, and pushing off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So this will shortly be going from Greene County into areas of Madison County here shortly. But nonetheless, our viewers that may be watching from Camp Creek and Greenville, Tusculum, we still got some heavy rain, but the tornadic part of the storm is south and east of Camp Creek really, and also southeast of Greenville and Tusculum. But certainly a pretty wound up area of rotation potentially right in through here, and that is just about ready to go from the Greene County foothills, mountains near the Madison County line into North Carolina, but certainly the indications are that the rotation, the circulation within that storm tight enough to be producing a possible tornado. Can't confirm that the debris signature or not, but what we got looks like a confirmed report there, David, that was showing up just now.
So yeah, some wind damage in Greene County. That was at 5:05
I think
p.m.
Take a look at that tornado warning. I think there might be
All right.
an update on that.
Let's go back to that. Yes, so now it is considered to be an observed tornado.
Okay.
So yes.
Does it say anything about where that was?
Let me pull that up here. So 542, confirmed tornado located 9 miles south of Tusculum, 10 miles southeast of Greenville, moving southeast 25. So to repeat, a tornado is on the ground. So as I think it was that debris ball that we were looking at here. So this is a small area, but the area is
Right
outlined
here.
in the purple. So that is the Viking Mountain area, and actually the same warning, but the same storm has another warning to the south. So the Madison County tornado is also going to be, tornado warning is also considered an observed tornado.
Does it say within the body of that warning, the updated warning, where, or anything, a little
So
spotter?
9 miles south of Tusculum. So it was in that
Right in
zone
here, right here.
Yeah. Where you've been seeing that. So it's very close to the state line there to the south of Camp Creek. But it spun up. We'll go back to 525 and you can see the kind of the brighter colors there. Looking at the debris tracker.
Right here, perhaps.
Yeah.
Getting very close. So right here is that little line there. That is the North Carolina border. Right here, this is Greene County, Madison County, and right now, pretty close to, it looks like Viking Mountain Road, that possible tornado right near the Tennessee-North Carolina state line.
So those areas in red, those are the confirmed tornado warnings. Radar confirmed based on being able to see debris in the air.
Right.
So that could be tree limbs, it could be, the radar can tell that it's not raindrops falling.
Something that's not normal sized type of return from a hailstone or a raindrop or something like that. That is signature of something that is possible debris that is being indicated by radar. So not necessarily confirmed. I saw spotter trains sighting, but certainly a radar detected possible confirmed tornado report there.
Right.
In the Camp Creek foothills of southeastern Greene County. Now, pretty much right on top of the Tennessee-North Carolina state line. And there's Carter County, or Greene County, and there is Madison County moving to the southeast. We also did have an upgrade with that when that tornado warning came out. We had some a new flash flood warning that was issued as well. I'm not sure if we can put that on, and that also includes areas that have seen repeat storms here from areas just south of Rogersville near Bowles Gap along the Hawkins-Greene County line through Mossheim, Greenville, Tuscum, Camp Creek to the areas of southwest Unicoi County, extreme South Washington County, Tennessee near South Central. So these repeat rains that continue to move over the same area, resulting in locally 2 to 3 inches of rain in an hour or two, and that's causing concern for some flash flooding. So just be cautious with that danger, as well as these storms continue to move through Greene County and also Unicoi County, and points to the north and east as well through other parts of the metro. But right now, that confirmed tornado warning still in effect until 6 p.m. That does include areas near the Madison and Unicoi and Greene County line. Right in this area right here is where that possible tornado continues to move southeastward. So it's set to move across the border into North Carolina here shortly, but still all caution advised here for the next little while until that does so. And of course, our viewers, you don't probably have too many in Madison County, but here near Sam's Gap, be on the lookout for the possibility of some strong damaging wind gusts as well along Interstate 26 on the south end of Unicoi County and then into North Carolina. So here is where we could be looking at maybe some perhaps penny-sized hail with those storms, David?
Yeah, penny-sized hail. At one point, radar was indicating the possibility of half-dollar-sized hail.
Yeah.
But so the rotation is strongest now, basically right over the Tennessee-North Carolina line, the Greene-Madison County line, moving southeast. So
right through here.
Yeah, the confirmed tornado warning here in the purple, still in effect from Viking Mountain to Sam's Gap, Allen Stand, and heading in the direction of Faust and the North Carolina Welcome Center.
So obviously travel not a good thing. I don't imagine anybody would probably get out in this, but Interstate 76, from Irwin and then heading into North Carolina is going to be a mess, a nightmare because of the intense rain, and also the possibility of that tornadic storm moving eventually, if it continues the southeast track, maybe into the there's Highway 212 here in Madison County, and perhaps eventually catching up with Interstate 26 again in North Carolina. But there it looks like is where we have the confirmed debris potentially on our radar moving from Greene County into Madison County, North Carolina currently.
Right. So beginning to push out of the viewing area, but still the warning technically in effect for far southern Greene County, the Viking Mountain area. It's actually even south of Camp Creek now. And so heading toward the Sam's Gap area, so Interstate 26, definitely would not recommend travel along that area.
Hey,
right
David,
now,
I think we do. I think, Kit, you have some viewer video queued up here on Max 2 of...
So yeah, I was wanting to share that. So that same storm that's tornado warning in Greene County right now, will backtrack a little bit when it was back up in Mossheim before it was quite this well formed. Now watch this video for a little bit. It gets quite severe right here from Cheryl Fillers. This is over Mossheim, Tennessee. Just let it go for a little bit. You will notice like the winds start to really pick up there. The grill cover especially is blowing. So we'll give it just a little bit. It's a pretty long video. It actually took quite a while to load in there. You could tell, even though we didn't have the tornado criteria right over this particular area, it's still the same cell that's now actually moving down the southeastern part of Greene County. And when they had some strong gusts there, kind of hoping it'll show up here real quick so viewers can see that before we switch it. Maybe just another minute. But anyway, that is the same cell that's moving over Greene County currently.
And just an update on the tornado warning. So Greene County has been taken out of the warning now that the storm has moved out. So still have the tornado warning in place for Madison County and far southern Unicoi County. So the confirmed tornado located 11 miles to the south of Tusculum, 13 miles southeast of Greenville, moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. And so the warning includes Interstate 26 in Tennessee between mile markers 48 and 54. So basically there on the state line, Dave.
Yeah, so it looks like this would be probably the concerning area right through here. There's Sam's Gap, Interstate 26. This would be placed back toward the northwest a few miles, but nonetheless, that is moving southward through Madison County, and that tornado warning does include areas around Sam's Gap in the southern portion of Unicoi County, with the most likely position or location of that tornadic signature now in the northern part of Madison County. There's the Greene County line. It looks like maybe we've lost that debris, perhaps, signature that was a little bit more prominently displayed a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so the rotation does not look as strong now, so that's certainly some good news. But still some very strong winds.
Yeah, thunderstorm winds can extend beyond where
strong.
that small compact area. We got those intense storms continuing to push through parts of southern Unicoi County, heavy rain, and those could also be producing some strong damaging wind gusts to maybe 60 miles per hour. In fact, we've got these strong storms extending all the way back toward the Greenville-Tusculum area, also into Washington County, Tennessee, near South Central. This area was placed under a flash flood warning, so be mindful that there is likely some minor flooding at the very least, and be cautious not to cross a flooded roadway. And the storms also continue to move through other parts of the metro to the northeast of this stormy weather. Not as intense as it once was, but just kind of give an overview here of the rain that continues in the Jonesboro, Johnson City area, and another area of storms not being warned for, but extend back toward Rogersville and Sneedville, now pushing out of Lee County into northeast Tennessee, parts of Hancock and Hawkins County of northeast Tennessee. The severe thunderstorm warning, though, at this point covers Greene County, near and south of Greenville to the North Carolina state line. Also includes Newport, a separate cell in Cott County. And then the warnings extend into North Carolina. And still that tornado warning has been lifted for Greene County, as that part of the storm has moved out of Greene County, but now into areas of Madison County. And that warning does include areas around Sam's Gap, points south, including Mars Hill as well. So Interstate 26 is under a tornado warning. That cell, though, looks to be kind of moving from this area of Madison County kind of due south, clipping maybe the far southern tip of Unicoi County. All right, so David, appreciate your expertise on this latest tornado warning. It's been certainly a busy day, and should we need to, we will break in with continuous coverage, and meteorologist Kid Alexander and I and David will be back with updates continuing as we see that storm activity continue to move across the area. Kristen, Casey.
Thank you, guys, and be sure if you're in those storms to stay safe and download our News 5 and StormTrack 5 apps. You can get the forecast from our StormTrack 5 team, and you can also watch live newscasts and see severe coverage when you're away from your TV or if your power goes out. Both are free in the App Store and on Google Play. We'll have more after this break.
WCYB. This is News 5 at 6.
Very active weather in our region today. We're going to start right off with Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks.
All right, guys, still tracking some strong to severe storms right near the Tennessee-North Carolina border. We have still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of southern Greene County. That will be in effect until 6:30. I'll zoom in a little tighter here to this activity that has the warning with it in Greene County, and that is for areas mainly south of Greenville toward Viking Mountain to near the North Carolina state line. Possible 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts still with that, especially close to the North Carolina border. The confirmed tornado that we had been talking about before the 6 o'clock show has moved into North Carolina. Still a tornado warning in effect for that part of Madison and Yancey County until 6:15. That does include the southern tip of Unicoi County, but we'll put on the storm relative velocity here, show you that most likely part of this storm that has the tornado with it is going to be sliding just to the west of Sam's Gap, and right now the rotation not as significant as it once was, but is in areas of Madison County, right through here is where the strongest part of this storm, still indicating at least some modest rotation that has allowed that tornado warning to be extended and to continue until 6:15 there for parts of Madison, Yancey County, and into the southernmost part of Unicoi County, especially near Sam's Gap south along Interstate 26. Otherwise, we continue to see areas of heavy rain moving through parts of Unicoi County, Washington County, into areas of Carter County. A secondary area of showers and a few thunderstorms not being warned for continue across Hancock and Hawkins County, where we've had several rounds of some heavy rain as well. So there could be some flash flooding going on with this activity as well. In fact, we show you the current flash flood warnings in effect for the metro from Colonial Heights to Fall Branch to Gray, Boones Creek, Johnson City, Jonesboro, Elizabeth, and Hampton. That warning for flash flooding in effect until 8:15. And also we do have the flash flood warning for parts of Hawkins and Greene County and extreme southwest parts of Washington County, Tennessee to near South Central and toward the southern part of Unicoi County. So be aware that there could be some flooding of roadways. Never cross a flooded roadway. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of southern Greene County yet for a little while longer. But right now we're also keeping an eye on the possibility some high water in parts of Hawkins, Greene County, Unicoi County, and also parts of Washington, Sullivan, and Carter County in northeast Tennessee.
Dave, thank you very much. You can stay up to date on the go with the News 5 and StormTrack 5 apps. Get the forecast from our StormTrack 5 weather team. You can also watch live newscasts and, as we've seen here, severe weather coverage when you're away from your TV or if the power goes out. Both are free in your App Store and on Google Play.
A case involving a man arrested by Kingsport police officers for disorderly conduct was recently overturned by a Tennessee Court of Appeals. That same man has filed a lawsuit against the city of Kingsport and several officers. News 5's Liam Bridgman has been following this case and has the latest. Liam.
Josh Gibbons is a local self-described First Amendment auditor. He's part of a trend of content creators who test the limits of free speech, filming in public places, oftentimes documenting confrontations with police. He's recorded several run-ins with officers around our region, and back in 2022, one incident in particular got him arrested, and it's now filed a lawsuit against the city of Kingsport. Between September and October of 2022, Gibbons posted a total of 5 videos of him confronting officers with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and Kingsport PD.
It's kind of funny how they leave when the camera shows up.
In this video, posted on October 10th, 2022, Gibbons records himself driving in Kingsport, trailing a Kingsport police officer.
The speed limit is down through here, 45. Look at it. Is he doing 45? I don't think he's doing 45.
Gibbons follows the officer and confronts him in a parking lot.
Can I ask you a question? What your name, badge number is?
No, sir.
No, sir? You can't? Okay. Is there a reason why that you feel like you can speed down through here?
Gibbons moves to get footage of the officer's car before backing away.
Why you think you can do 55 miles an hour down Stone Drive? I have no idea. You piece of
The exchange lasts a little more than a minute. Days later, Gibbons posts another video using more colorful language directed at a different officer. This video lasts about 15 minutes. After that, according to court filings, Kingsport police officers began emailing the video internally, and it eventually led to an arrest warrant for Gibbons. Then at 5:04 a.m. on October 18th, at least 8 officers